All right. We're 6 seconds in and no trolls so far, so we're off to a good start.
You do good with them trolls. There was one once that made me laugh, and I think he said, "I'll go make fun of his mum and then kick him out."
Yeah.
But I actually laughed out loud at that one. That was funny.
You know, I actually don't mind the trolls if they're saying something clever and funny. I don't really mind, you know. But you got some of these other guys that are like, I've had some saying some really inappropriate crap, and I can't have that. You know,
Yeah.
That's got to go. But if you're going to be clever and say some funny stuff, by all means, don't kick them out. But sometimes my wrenches get to them too quick. Unfortunately.
Yeah. There's that line, and I know, like, because I've always been into comedy stuff. That's why I do the videos the way I do, like a bit of fun, making fun of everything, joking around. But you got to be careful because there's that line. You don't know who you're going to upset, especially now. Now I'm on YouTube and stuff. It's like, oh, I've actually got to be careful and try and think before I say something, which is going to be really difficult.
Me too, because I tend to have a very sarcastic style of humor.
Yeah.
And I have to really pump the brakes because sometimes my mouth just wants to go. My brain's spinning a mile a minute. And I'm like, no. Just let this one go, Mark. And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Especially when you're writing something, like from my side, when I'm just chatting with someone in a live and writing, the sarcasm doesn't always come over. And I've noticed that when people respond, it's like, they're not getting the sarcasm, which is not their fault. If you're not used to sarcasm, and as I say, it comes over. It's like you read it, it's like, oh, is that a serious question? That's why sometimes I've put in the chat too, this is a serious question, and then put it, because it's like, I want to make sure you know I'm not just pissing around here and joking.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is fun. It is fun for sure. All right, we got some people.
How is it? Yeah.
We got Adam, Zach, Robert, Lone Star Catapults. We got Tennessee Slangin'. We got Rex, Countryman Crafts. Oh man, we got everybody coming in here already. Nice and early, perfect.
Yeah, Leon. Morning everyone. Don't adjust your headsets. I do have an English accent.
So somebody released the pigeons for Hoggy. What else we got going on here? Web Shooter Slings. How's it going, bud? Woo, there we go. All right. So how you doing, buddy? You're gonna sit? You gonna have a seat, or what's going on?
I can stand. I sit down all day at work, so I do have a seat. So I will sit down at some point. I'm not trying to tower. It's not a power move. So how did you feel on your first live? Because like for me yesterday, like I've done a few videos, and it was like, yeah, I'm going to do a live, and like once I got Rick's package, it's like, yeah, I'm going to save that. Like this will be a great live. And I set it for 2:00 Mountain Time, and at 1:30, my heart was pounding. It's like, oh my god, what am I doing? What am I thinking? But like, how was it for you on your first live?
My first regular live, just by myself, that was kind of like, I don't know. I felt kind of like a fish out of water. Like I didn't really know what the hell I was doing, if I was going to be boring or not, or whatever. And it seemed like a lot of people didn't seem to mind it. Then Rex asked me to go live with him. He was the first one I ever did a co-live with. And actually, no, it was not a live, but I did that thing with Benji, that the Sling Dead episode.
All right.
Sling Dead episode. That was pretty cool. I was very, very nervous for that. Like that was like, I was just, I don't know. I was shitting my pants, to be honest. And then, anyway, I did the interview. Everything went really, really cool. It was a lot of fun. But my first co-live, I was kind of nervous for that too. Rex asked me to come onto the show, do a co-live with him. I'm like, oh, wow, how does this work? You know, I had no idea how I was supposed to connect with him and this and that. And anyway, we got on there. It went. We did that co-live. I had such a great time with Rex. And anyway, it's been history since then. I started popping on here. I didn't want to interrupt with too many people on their lives because I don't know. I didn't want to pull any views away from anybody, and I was hoping to get the best draw for myself as well at the same time. So I started doing this Sunday morning coffee thing, which surprisingly enough kind of took off. I mean, one of the episodes I did, I had like 6,000 views in like a 3-hour video.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane. I blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I mean, 6,000 people watching me, even if it's for like just 10 seconds and they're out. I mean, man, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, it is
It's nuts.
surreal because, like,
Yeah,
for me, because I know, like, we talked. I know we're pretty much the same age. Like, I'm 49 in November. I think we talked like a couple of weeks ago in one of the chats that we're pretty much like about a year apart. And so, to
yeah.
me, seeing someone on
Oh,
YouTube is like seeing someone on TV. So it's a bit surreal that, oh my god, like, why are people watching me? Like, it's true. Like, I don't get it. It's like I just figured it was part you. So why I started it, doing the channel, was partly you and partly Andy, slinging clay. And the reason is, and I don't think I'm saying anything untowards, like this is stuff you've said, like you said, you don't like being in crowds, you get a bit anxious in crowds, and I'm exactly the same. And Andy from Slinging Clay, he's kind of said that same thing, like that he gets sort of nervous around people, wasn't sure about crowds, and so it's like, well, if they can do it, then why can't I? Let's just have a laugh and do it. So I figured I had a Catchbox anyway because I used to do archery. I haven't picked up my bow in such a long time now, but I figured, right, I'm just going to repurpose this target box and do it for like slingshots. But me being me, I just got carried away, and it's like, okay, let's paint it black, let's put like LED lights in, and I've got this whole plan to do like a, Rube Goldberg machines, like the game Mousetrap, where it sort of goes down
oh
different
yeah, yeah.
things.
Yeah.
That's the plan I've got for that box. So I can. You'll still hear me. I'm just going to walk over just to my. I've got my box of parts. So here, I'll give an ATO exclusive for one of my plans. But what I want to do is, like, I've got this like little bit of pipe, and then I'm going to have the brush over it to slow the shot down. So it'll sort of come down, and then I'm going to build like pipes going down and around, and then it'll gradually just end up and drop on a cowbell or something like that.
Oh, cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. As you see, ADD, I said yes, my brain just goes off in 10 different directions at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I had a plan to do a setup like that on my Catchbox. Now, on my big drum
Right.
catch, I got down to the end. I wanted to attach a little flange to the bottom, have the ammo roll in there, down a little pipe on a nice little grade, all the way back to my starting point, so I wouldn't have to go and collect my ammo. Being a lazy bitch that I am.
That,
So, yeah,
that would be nice.
but sure enough, I would have to mow around that, and that would get really annoying. So I was like, you know what? I'll just walk over there and get it. I got to adjust the targets anyway. So yeah,
Unless you did like half pipes and put hinges on it, like hinges on the top so you can sort of fold it up.
oh yeah, maybe that would work. Maybe that would work.
See, crazy ideas. My brain just goes up and like sometimes I get a hit. It's like, oh, that's actually a good idea. But yeah, it would be a pain mowing around that. It's a pain mowing anyway. But
Taylor Made, Damien, how you doing, buddy? I hope everything worked out for your that YouTube mess there. I started getting I've gotten a few clone accounts come at me a couple of weeks ago, and anyway, hopefully anyway, I just to let you know, Damien, I reported and blocked that person. Hey, Rob, Al, what's going on, guys? Rick, what's going on? Robert Patton. Yes, sir.
yeah, morning to everyone. I have to say everyone, sorry, because I've only got about that much of screen where the chat is.
Oh, yeah, me too. Actually, that's why I've got the old nerd glasses on so I can see what I'm actually reading here. Lone Wolf, what's happening? I think we got Al already. I think we're pretty much caught up with everybody. Oh, Jorge, what's up, buddy?
I think I'll need to go and get my eyes tested. I'm not used to looking at a phone. That's why I was a little bit late, because I was like trying to wire it up so I could use my laptop. So I've got a nice big screen to look at. But
I didn't realize that you couldn't go live. Like if it had to be phone to phone, I didn't realize you couldn't do it with the laptop, because I can do it with my tablet. My tablet works, but I've never tried it on the laptop. Interesting.
Yeah, because that's myself. I've got a laptop, and it just, as soon as I logged in, it said you can't do this on a computer. You need to be on a phone. So it's like, oh shit, got to run upstairs, because I don't know if it's from you or from Rick, like mentioning my channel name, but like my Facebook just exploded this morning. Like I had to turn my phone off in the middle of the night because it's like ding, 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 ding. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a good
It's like,
problem.
whoa, it's exploding.
So I'm curious. You got your channel started.
Yeah.
I've watched two of your videos so far, which were great. I watched your live last night, which was great. What was your, how long you been shooting, and what was your idea of starting the whole channel from the get go?
Right. So the shooting, I don't think we can skip the beginning story because I think it's the same for a lot of people. Like everyone, as a kid, you had like the little like tree fork in England, where I grew up. Like, I've been in Canada for 20 years. We had it was called the Black Widow. I think it's very similar to the Daisy one, like that you can get in Walmart here.
Yeah.
So I think most people had that kind of slingshot. But I was into archery. It started off as archery because, of course, I was interested in shooting games actually when I was younger. But of course, in England, you can't have a gun; they're illegal there. So I went with archery. Started going learning archery. Just absolutely fell in love with it. When I came to Canada, it kind of dropped off because I was married, I had kids, so everything like that went to the side. And then a few years ago, it was like, okay, I'm going to pick up the bow and arrow again. It was just before COVID hit and things were closing down. It's like, yeah, I need a hobby because I found I was just working too much. I realized that work-life balance was off. So I figured, right, I'm going to get the bow out. That's why I got the indoor range. And I used to go to a range near me and just fell in love with it again. So after a while, just shooting, I was like, well, there must be easier ways to do this because I do archery with a horse bow. And I think I spoke to you a few months ago. I was saying, oh, yeah, I've got a horse bow. Now, with a horse bow, if I can stand back, I do Korean style. So there you hold, as you can see, that's what makes it difficult in here. You hold the bow up and you come down to draw.
Yep.
So it kind of made it a bit more difficult to do that at home because I really like rituals and traditions, stuff like that. So I didn't want to just start shooting it a normal Western style. I wanted to try and keep that tradition. So it's like, okay, well, the next best thing is going to be slingshots. That's when, funny enough, you said about your Catchbox. That's one of the first videos I looked at. I'm sure everyone probably says, oh, ATO, that's the first person I ever saw on YouTube for slingshots because you just come up, you've got all these great tutorials. You do such a great job of it. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. You do a good job. You've got that little mixture of, there's that little hint of comedy, little hint of seriousness. So you almost feel no matter what angle you come from, you're welcome. We've got the Can Vandals that are really comical and you've got others that take it seriously. So that's what attracted me to your channel, started watching more. And it's like, okay, right, I'm going to buy a slingshot. I'd already done a couple of natties. Let me, I haven't shown this. This is one I've been working on for a while. Now, I know the fork whips are a bit odd sized. I like that. I like things that are weird and not quite normal. It suits me. But anyway, so the YouTube channel, going back. So I did get, and I think I said this on my intro, so I got the Scout LT. Absolutely love this thing.
That was one of my first too.
Yeah, I think I refer to it as my bipolar order from Simple Shot because I got the Ocularis and I got this. And I've made no secret of it. I hate the Ocularis. Really hate it. I don't know why. And it's not to say it's a bad slingshot. It's just maybe not for me. But I couldn't hit a barn door at 10 paces. I was shooting at things and I could hear it hitting the wall. And on my Catchbox, and it's like a 5-foot Catchbox, it's hitting the top and I was aiming at the bottom. I just couldn't get a thing. So then I pulled the Scout LT out and game changer. So I do absolutely love this thing. So I'm not anti Simple Shot. Absolutely love this. I'm actually sort of thinking, should I get the LT2? And I think I said it in the intro video that I wonder if I actually got the last Scout LT because when I ordered it, it shipped on a Thursday and the Friday morning they announced the LT2. So it's like, oh, this might be the last one that they ever made.
Oh, that's cool.
But jumping back to your question, so the YouTube, like as I said, like you inspired me to do it, and like, not just you and Slinging Clay, like watching all these other YouTubers, like these are just like your standard everyday guys. Like they go to work. Because I think a lot of YouTube is like all these big stars, and it's like, oh, millionaires. That's why I made the joke, like in my intro video. Oh, they've all got mansions. When you start watching like the everyday folk doing things, it's like, wow, I could do that as well. And it springs a little bit off of. I did do a podcast. Let me see. It was back in 2017. Like I took it down. Like I had it on my own website, but I had a podcast called Don't Be Me. And basically the idea of it was I was releasing it every week, and it was kind of me talking to my kids because I'm a single parent. So I was doing like this talk to my kids saying, this is who I am. This is what I've done. These are the mistakes I made in life. So don't be me. Be like, do things differently to the way I did it. So that's why there's that little bit of comfort in front of the camera and talking, because I had that kind of rapport of just talking.
Yeah, I think that's where before, eh? Yeah.
So I think that's where the panic came in yesterday, because I've never actually done anything live. Like doing a podcast and doing a video, like you can edit it, like all the and like when you lose your footing, you can go back and edit it. But when you're live, like now, you can't. So that's where like it's like, oh my god, like
yeah. Which is where the coffee comes in on this, by the way, because when you're revving at high revs, you don't have to worry about the hims and hums, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I've already got two. So I did go McDonald's. I did, for everyone else out there, I did joke. There's a coffee shop up here called Tim Hortons. I think there's a few in the US, but it's a really crappy one near me, and they don't open till 7. So I quickly had to run to McDonald's. So sorry, I've let the Canadian team down.
That's okay. To be honest, I prefer McDonald's coffee to Tim's.
Yeah.
I do.
That's good to hear. Like, it is good out here. Like, it's actually not bad. The first time I tried McDonald's coffee, it's like it is, because I think like Tim Hortons coffee tastes burnt to me. It's like a weird burnt flavor to it.
Yeah, even the dark roast is kind of meh. But the if you're talking sandwiches and food, you go to Tim Hortons all day. Like, forget McDonald's.
Yeah,
but their coffee.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember before McDonald's actually changed their coffee. It tasted like filthy motor oil and broken dreams. It was terrible. It was possibly the worst coffee alive. I don't even think you could call it coffee. I wanted to get a DNA test on that and see exactly what it was. It was absolutely horrible, but they fixed it.
I don't recall it being that bad, but yeah, I mean, I'm not a coffee connoisseur, so because I know like you have like the more fancy coffees. Like I've never had anything beyond McDonald's. I wouldn't know.
McDonald's actually make decent coffee. Like in here, usually I have there's this woman who imports coffee beans from places like El Salvador and Colombia and all these places, and she roasts them up here. Her name's Lucia. She makes amazing coffee.
Right.
It's one of the best coffees I've ever had. When I'm not drinking hers, because it's kind of hard to come by, I kind of gotta go to like a market and find her and then buy it. So I don't do that all the time. But when I'm not drinking that, I'm drinking Lavazza Crema Gusto, which you can buy pretty much anywhere. It's a decent coffee. And when I'm broke, I drink Melita. So, if I don't have money for the fancy coffee, I drink Melita, which is also a pretty decent coffee, Yeah.
And I've had one company I worked for, the CEO there, he was a big foodie and coffee person. So he bought, I think I heard it was like about $8,000, this coffee machine. And it ground the beans. Like it took like about 3 or 4 minutes to make a cup of coffee. But it was so good.
Oh, wow.
But this CEO, I've had bosses that are bosses, but this guy was just so different. Like if you was in the kitchen getting a coffee, or if you'd done a cappuccino, he'd take your cup from you and he'd start drawing pictures, like doing the whole barista thing for you and do a little picture and give it to you.
Oh, wow.
Like he was so down to earth. So do you get recognized? Because you said like there's not a lot of people in like Montreal, where you are, like that you could find doing slingshots? Have you ever actually been recognised?
No, man, I barely recognize myself, to be honest. I mean, I haven't. I've never really been recognized. Nothing. I don't really know anybody. Oh, actually, one time, we have this. It's a French Canadian guy who works in our area. His name's Guillaume, and somehow one of my videos popped up in his feed and on YouTube, and he came to chat with me a little bit because he was a hunter and whatever, and we shot the shit about it a little bit. But I mean, I already knew the guy. It's not like I was found like somebody approached me or anything. That's never happened.
Right.
I honestly, I think that would freak me out a little.
Yeah, it would me. It's that bittersweetness of it. 'Cause it's like, oh, I've been recognised, and it's, oh shit, I've been recognised.
Yeah, one of those deals, you know. Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about it, but yeah.
Especially with me, someone said, "Oh, I know you." Oh shit, how do you know me? What did I do?
Yeah, exactly. I swear to God, I'm not your dad. I don't know who your mom is.
Yeah,
You know, one of those deals. You know. Yeah. So I wanted to show you guys this. This is my latest natty. I posted kind of pics and clips of this along the way on Facebook while I was building this little bad boy. But we got her banded up. I tried to actually shoot a video with this on Saturday morning, but it was so damn hot. I was like all the footage was a giant waste. But anyway, it
that is
really
beautiful.
I'm so happy with the way this thing turned out. Like it's crazy considering I'm pretty much eyeballing everything. I know you probably saw that little picture where I cut that flat bit and I drew the design on it just to get an idea.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if it would fit pretty much. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's see how it goes. And man, it came out beautiful. I'm really, really happy with this. It shoots nice.
Yeah, I think when you're showing. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot it today and see how it performs. I got some proper bands on there. I was trying shooting clays with it earlier, but I had the bands, kind of extra long, and I was only shooting 0.45. And I tried shooting steel with it after. It was much better, but I was dropping quite a bit. So I was like, okay, we're gonna put a proper set on there and shoot it tomorrow with yeah, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
But here we are.
yes, yeah. I liked it. Well, when you're showing the video and you said, oh, there was like a couple of little sort of knots and things like that, and like that sort of one of the things I think I mentioned in one of my videos because my dad was a carpenter, so I grew to love all those imperfections. And that's when I was reading the postcard from Rick yesterday, and it said perfectly imperfect. It's like I get that. I get that feeling. I love wood when it's got those little knots and it's not everything's balanced. It gives it that. To me, it's got that charisma. It's got that personality to it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? I had like this big old crack I had to fill in. I filled that pit. It's got a nice, cool, dark stripe on it. I had a couple of wormholes up here that I had to fix up. Luckily, they weren't very deep. I would have had to scrap the piece. That would have been kind of dangerous to pour that back. But I mean, I left a couple of little natural pits that were in the bark, and those stayed in there. Yeah,
I love that. Your eye goes to it. It attracts you to it.
It's got that funny brown butt crack in the in the cup, which is pretty cool.
You call it the thong.
It's the thong. And this is another one I made. This is the one I made just before that one.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, these were coming up pretty nice. This one came up pretty nice. And this one too, I left a little bit of bark in there inside the cup. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to leave that there. It looks great. But both of them hold really, really well. Really comfortable.
So do you have like a woodworking shed or something at your house? Or like, do you have just lots of tools? Or?
No, I've got, all of these. Actually, this one too, actually. I know I've showed this one before. This one's got some beautiful grain on it.
I love that one.
This one's just stunning. But I basically have a belt sander, a 1-inch tiny belt sander. I've got a Dremel. That's pretty much all I use.
All right.
Yeah, and everything else is hand tools. So it's a saw to cut things off. I do have a Sawzall. I don't like to use it that much because it's really not that accurate. I find I wander all over the place with it. So I use that just to trim the forks down to a point where I'm going to use a rasp to bring them all in. And that's usually what I do is I just take a really coarse rasp and go to town on it.
Right. So you're outside. Like, I don't know if people wonder why is he in the basement all the time. Because do you get forest fires out east?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Because
Oh yeah.
we're pretty much it's cleared up a bit today, but that's why I'm coughing a little bit today. It's just like the smoke outside. Just comes from nowhere.
Last year the smoke was so bad here. We had like probably one of the worst seasons on record. But all the smoke left here and flew right over us and went into New York, and New York turned orange from all the smoke. It was crazy. People were freaking out.
I can believe that.
Canada. Yeah. But the bad thing is like that was our worst year, and they were trying to spin it like it was a global warming issue, and it turned out to be arson. You know, it turned out to be some asshole lighting fires, and it was funny because I saw on the they actually posted it on the news like idiots. They showed the Google Maps, like the map of it, and you see like 8 fires in a row, kind of going up along this line, all light exactly the same time within like 100 miles of each other. Like, okay, I get something just lightning on its own. It can happen, a lightning strike or whatever, who knows?
Yeah.
But not getting 10 or 11 fires in a very long strip along the same area of a heavily wooded pine forest to go up like this. I mean, come on now. And sure enough, they ended up reporting months later that this guy actually lit the fire, and he's a climate activist, and blah 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 blah. You know?
Yeah. That's like what was it? Was it in California? Like quite a few years ago when people were doing the whole gender reveal and they set like half the state on fire and millions of dollars of damage.
Yeah.
It's like I don't get people like I come from England where we don't really have forest fires, but it's raining a lot. It's quite damp, like, and we don't have big forests like we do here. But I don't get how people cannot click. Like in Alberta, it's very dry. Like you have to water your grass with gallons for it to be slightly green. Otherwise, it's brown. Like it's so dry. So you should know, any little spark, this is going up.
Yeah. And a lot of times what people don't realize is just people driving on their quads on those really, really hot and dry days, a little spark can fly out of the exhaust and light it. Like it's that bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's that
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You'll see sometimes like in Northern Ontario and some places when it gets really, really dry, like there's been an extended drought for quite some time, they'll tell people to stay off your machines in the woods. Yeah, it gets pretty bad. Yeah. But you know what? The wacky thing is I had a friend of mine that I used to talk to in another group. He was in forestry and all that stuff. And he was saying that in the early 90s and late 80s, they used to go around and they used to clean up a lot of deadfall and all that stuff. And they would cut, I can't remember what they called it, but when you have forest fires, the problem is that all the trees are pretty much touching. So the fire likes to climb. It would go across to the next tree, come down, come up, and everything would burn. And they used to manage this. They used to cut little strips. They would clear cut strips through them. So if a fire was over here, they would have a line where they could actually stand and fight the fire. So they would say, okay, we've got a problem. We'll bomb it for now. Try to get rid of try to hit it down with water and slow it down. But then as we get to that gap, that's where we'll take our stand and we'll they dig that little trench, toss the line to make sure the fire can't come across, and they would do those kind of things. But they stopped doing it. They don't do it anymore.
Oh.
Now they're just letting it go. So when a fire, this was all like a maintenance / management that they used to do. But if they stop doing that now, so now whenever a fire lights, it just runs rampant. So I don't know.
It opens your eyes. Like coming from England and coming to Canada, I mean, of course, it opened my eyes quite a bit because just the province of Alberta is, I think, bigger than England. So, like, it blows your mind. But like, there's an app I found out a few years ago, an app that tells you like where the forest fires are. And so I looked at the one for Alberta. On one summit, it's like there's 137 wildfires going on at the moment. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It really blows your mind when you come from a tiny little country like mine. It really blows your mind.
Yeah, I mean, even when you think about it, there's like 3 or 4 countries in Europe that you can actually fit inside of Quebec alone.
Yeah.
You know? So when people like sometimes I get like questions, and it's not. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, you know. But people will be like, "Oh, you know, I have a friend. You know, in Calgary, for example. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, do you know these people?" I'm like, "Dude, he's 4,000 kilometers away. 4,000. You know, do the math, man. I don't know him. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, but it's just
Yeah,
wild,
because
you know.
there's like the number one highway that goes across Canada. It's like I'm 10 minutes away from it in Calgary. It's like, oh, I could drive south, turn left, and then eventually I'd get to you. But it'll be 3.5 days, but I would get to you.
3.5
Yeah,
days of nonstop going.
because I did live in Montreal for about a month when I first come over to Canada. So I don't know, like if you know, like I think it's a fairly well-known area, La Salle.
Yeah, that's where I work.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason I came to Canada was like I was living in England and my kid's mum, like we get on fine now. We're divorced. We only live like 3 or 4 blocks away, so the kids can come back and forth and everything. But she's was from Montreal originally, so she had moved to England because her parents were Italian, so she could get an EU passport and work in England. We met there. When we got married, we figured, okay, we'll like have a better life in Canada. So we moved and we lived in Montreal for about 3 or 4 weeks just while I got set up. And then we've done like a big road trip and figured we'll get to Calgary. Calgary was always our goal. I think just because of the whole, anyone who doesn't know about Calgary, Calgary is like Dallas, Texas. It's all about the oil here. So
yeah. And it was booming
you can
at the time when you came. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years ago. Yeah, yeah. Like everyone said, as soon as you get here, just get into oil and gas because that's going to be where the money is.
Quit a job, get a job, quit a job, all in the same day, and then finish off your day with a new job at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard of people like that. They would come to Alberta, they would go up, work on a rig for a year or two, come back down, and they'd buy a house outright because they just earned enough to just buy a house.
Yep.
Straight cash.
A good buddy of mine did the exact same thing. Now he's actually in Texas because you know, politics went and played with the oil sands and everything and shut everything down.
Yeah.
Or minimized it to a ridiculous amount. And I mean, you know, he had a house. Well, he still has the house actually, but he had a house. He had a camper. He had a pickup truck. He had a bunch of toys. All these things were awesome. He was making money. His family was doing great. And then they pulled it out from under him like this, and he's like, "Well, crap, what am I going to do now?" You know, and both he worked in the oil industry, and his brother worked in construction because both of them kind of went hand in hand, right? The oil industry was taking off. Everyone was making a shit ton of money. A lot of people were coming. Alberta as a whole was just booming, and then they turned off a light switch, and then all the industries trickled down a lot, slowing down quite a bit. It was not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that someone told me once you can tell what side of the argument someone's on by what they call it. So I was quite pleased you said the oil sands and not the tar sands. Because as soon as you hear the word tar sands, you know what side of the argument that is. But I'm kind of lucky because like that's where the nerd thing comes from. Like as I've said, like I'm really into tech stuff. So I'm kind of in the oil and gas industry, but not directly. Like I do software support. It's software that's specifically written for the oil and gas and energy industries. But it can do other things. So I do support for that. So I'm not directly affected by oil and gas going up and down.
No, that's good. At least you've got a little bit more stability there, you know?
Yeah. Because they call it the boom bust city. I'm not sure you've been in Canada a lot longer than I have, so you must have heard the boom bust because it is. It's like boom, then all of a sudden everything crashes.
Yeah, my buddy's his family still lives out in Calgary, but he stays down in Texas, works 21 days there, flies back for a week, 21 days there, flies back for a week, and goes back or 2 weeks or something. I can't remember how it all works out for him, you know, but he's kind of suffering now because of this, because he doesn't get to see his family as often. And, you know, the summers they went down there to hang with him and so on. But I mean, it's rough. It's a rough go.
Yeah, that gets too much, or that truck. I wouldn't like that.
No.
I don't like planes. That's like one of those things. It's like, if I really get good at shooting, it's like, should I do a tournament next year? But it's like, that means getting on a plane.
Yeah, getting on a plane. Oh, for me, it's
I can't
kind of
really
frustrating. Nah,
swish between people, and no.
I'm not a fan of that. You know, getting stuck beside strangers and all that stuff, and I don't
We
like
need
it.
to start. I mean, at the moment, I think it's just me and you, like YouTubers. We've got to get more Canadians doing this, and then we can do a Canadian tournament.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. There was one guy early on that I knew used to follow my channel. His name was Izzy. Haven't seen him around in a long time. I don't know if he's still, still sub to the channel or not. But he was one guy that was in on the island of Montreal, and
Right.
I was trying to, yeah, maybe we should get together and do a shoot sometime. And that would have been the only guy I've never shot with anybody except for my son.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know there's a couple of people. There's at least one in Calgary, and I think there's another one in Edmonton. Because I was in the Facebook Canada Slingshot group, and all I was seeing was like posts from other people, Mexico and all these other countries. And I actually put like a post in there one day saying, "Is there actually anyone in here from Canada?" And all of a sudden, like all these people like, "Yeah, I am," and so there
Yeah.
are a few people around. I think we just need to boost their energy a bit, get involved.
Yeah, I know Luke. Luke, I think he's the creator of that Luke Duchesne. I think he's the creator of that group.
Yeah.
Pretty decent. He does a pretty good job of it. You don't see too much people pissing on each other at all, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, it's a great group. It wasn't like people spamming. It was like someone from Mexico or whatever, and they're selling their slingshots and stuff like that. So there's nothing bad. It was all good. Good luck to anyone doing that. But it's just like, I'm in a Canada group, and I don't think I've seen anyone from Canada post yet.
So we got a couple of questions here. Hold on a second. Right. Let's see if we can get back into this. Can you guys start shooting your slingshots? I guess we will soon. Steph. Guy on the left, nice goatee. Guy on the right, nice beard. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you. It's purple, actually. I did dye it.
Oh, nice. Mark, looks like the Canadians are doing pretty well in the Olympics. Slingshots need to be in the Olympics. I agree. All the slingers around the world will be glued to the TV to watch that 100%. It's actually pretty cool. We're just waiting for the wrestling to start. One of my sons, I don't know if you call him a training partner, but he's gone to the Olympics this year. They used to go to this guy named Gia, who was a Canadian Olympian, and he put on these seminars twice a week. And my son used to go there and meet this guy named Alexander Moore. They would see each other from time to time and sometimes wrestle with each other. And he's gone to the Olympics, so I highly doubt Alexander's going to be watching this. But I wish you the best, bro. That'll be pretty exciting. Yeah, buddy. Rob Ross. You wrote, Mark, we still do for our Hillbilly Sling and Shoot. I'm hoping we can do it sometime next week. It's just going to depend on the weather. It's been brutal here, and that's why I didn't hit you up. We're in the 40 degrees, and I haven't done any shooting in the evening after work at all, pretty much. So that's why I've been holding off. But I have shot my my Mega Billy. I have not shot it with anybody else, and I promised that it would be you and me doing that. So hopefully, if it's not too stinking hot next week, we can do a live together. It'll be fun. What are you going to be shooting today? What are you going to be shooting today?
Well, it's funny because like where you just said, I was just reaching down because you said about the Mega Billy, and I literally like banded it up last night. But no, I'm going to leave that. So I've got plenty of others. I'm hoping I have a better day today.
You're welcome to shoot yours. I'm just not going to shoot mine.
Right.
Yeah.
I won't spoil it then. And I probably should do it with sort of safer ammo so I don't fork hit because after yesterday. So I'm probably going to try. I'm going to go for the Scout. See if I have a better day, but otherwise I'll probably go over to the Apex because the Apex, apart from yesterday, was the game changer for me. I don't know why it just, as soon as it was in my hands, I could just zone in. Everything was a hit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We'll see how we go.
Has it been stinking hot?
I do have my nice little ammo pouch.
Oh, nice. Has it been stinking hot out near you these last couple of weeks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like we were hitting 31, 32, and I'm not the sort of person that likes the heat. I don't do good. in the heat. So like, I couldn't sleep. There were nights I just had the front door open. I've got one of those portable air conditioners, trying to cool down. So, it's been a nightmare. But today it's like raining a bit and it's cooling down. So it was actually a bit decent. But yeah, we got hit with that heat wave. It was a nightmare.
With the humidity, we were reaching 40 degrees all week.
Oh,
And inside the shop, it was 47. It was horrible, man. Horrible.
wow.
And I don't have air conditioning in my office, so I was just sitting there with a fan blowing. It felt like it was blowing hot, warm water on me. It was disgusting. It was absolutely brutal. I don't even know what that winds up being in Fahrenheit, but it's over 100 for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think double it and add 32, I think gets you roughly there. So, that's
disgusting.
I'm sure people could probably die at that temperature.
Oh yeah, well, when it gets that hot for all the guys in the shop, actually, we have this air exchanger that works. We have this big tube that runs along the ceiling of the plant. It's probably about 60 feet up, and this thing sucks out all the hot air that gets trapped under the roof, blows that outside, and while it's doing that, it's pulling in lower air from the bottom, from like through the cracks of the door and all this stuff. So it's kind of recycling that hot, nasty shit, getting it out, and bringing in this other stuff. Now, before we installed that, it was pretty bad. It used to get so humid in there, the ceiling used to drip on you. So when you're making carbon steel pipe, you don't. The last thing you want to have is having water dripping all over your product to rust it. So we installed this, but it turned out that the guys in the shop actually have a better place to work than I do in the office that doesn't have air conditioning that's attached to the shop. So it was like, man, we were just in there suffering. I had to change my uniform twice in a day because I was just sweating right through it. It was really, really not good.
I've never had that. I did go back to Montreal for a wedding quite a few years ago in midsummer, so I know what that humidity can be like. You're just like drenched. Your clothes gain a pound in fluids. So what was you going to be shooting today?
Oh, I actually brought 6.
Show off.
Yeah, I'll give a quick run through of what I got here and what I'll be shooting a little bit today. But so one of them is this natty. I brought 3 natties out with me to shoot today. So we got this one. I already showed these 2. I'll just do a quick little peek. This guy. This guy that we just wrapped up on Friday night. I got probably my favorite slingshot of all time, Mr. Aries. Oh yeah, actually, this just reminds me. I've got to answer something to Ethan. But we got the Spitfire, and if I'm feeling brave today, we're gonna go pickle style with this one.
Oh, what is that?
This is the S scope from Sniper Sling.
Oh right.
Yeah, it's a mean little machine. Pretty damn cool.
Is it aluminium or steel?
It's titanium.
Oh.
Yeah. So cool. I find the name's kind of weird, but
yeah,
it's pretty S scopes. Yeah, it puts an S on it too, which is kind of weird. It's not like there's 2, you know.
But yeah, I'm waiting to do the pickle fork. I want to do that. I think is it the Backyard Slinger, and he sort of has one band like offset. Yep. So I'm trying to figure out, get it clear in my head how to band that up.
That's what I've done. See that?
Yeah. It looks kind of easy, but it's going to be one of the videos I have to keep pausing and going, okay, twist that way and that.
I mean, for me, if I'm pulling straight like this, it does a very, very nice straight line, right? But I prefer to twist my pouch and put a tweak. I don't think I need to do band offset like this if I'm going to be tweaking. I think what I'll do is in my next set, I'll just make a straight up OTT band set, try it with the tweak and see if it makes any difference. Yeah.
Yes, I was going to do like what Ethan said, and I'm giving away one of my future video ideas here, but I don't mind if people watch it all. But as I mentioned earlier, like I do like Asian style archery. Now there's a thing, and Ethan does it. I saw your video. Hi, Ethan. And you said like with your pickle fork, you have it and you sort of flick it away at the last minute. Now they do that in Korean archery. They call it a katra, Khatra, and that's because like your string lines up with a bow, so your arrow's actually pointing off at an angle. It's what
The
they call
paradox
the
cock.
archer's paradox.
I love
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So in the archery that I'm used to that anyway. And what I would do is hold the bow, sort of twisting it around. Then when you draw, sort of like that, and when you draw back, your arm comes back, and all you've got to do is sort of push a bit of resistance. And then when you release, you automatically sort of flick it away. So I was going to try that when I finally get that pickle fork done. But that's when I saw Ethan's videos like that, 100%, that makes sense to me to flick it away.
What's up, Track? Joseph? Chad? I think we're all caught up. Yeah, so Ethan, you had mentioned that I'm going to get hooked. Yeah, you're right. Just to let you know, I've got some carbon fiber plate coming with like a raindrop pattern on it. I've got a carbon fiber with a copper foil inlay in it, which is going to look pretty damn cool. I got a bunch of G10 liners and G10 cores coming in at around 5 millimeters, I think. I think I got a 5 or a 6 millimeter. I really don't like a thick frame, so I am going to be going on the thinner style. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I recently bought myself a couple of extra tools, but I'm hoping that maybe at some point I could sell a couple of these that'll help me get to a bandsaw, and I'll start cutting those things up and getting some slings made and ready to go. I also have a router coming in with a router table that should be here next week, and yeah, I'm going to start popping out the odd frame here and there. And if anybody's interested, I'll post it up on Facebook. Look, this is available if anybody's down. If not, I'll keep it or give it away to one of my friends. That'll pretty much happen. But I'm gonna start popping and pumping them out, and we'll see what happens.
You should do a GoFundMe.
No. I'll work my way there. That's no big deal. I mean, I can get a bandsaw for somewhere around $300. So I figure with my YouTube money that I make, which really isn't much, I might have to wait a month or two to get that. Or I can make a couple of natties, and if anybody shows interest, I'll sell them off, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, and that'll be.
I mean, I would be. Natties are my thing. Like, I love natties. Like, I've given stuff away, but yeah, I've got this one. I think I messaged or I responded to one of your Facebook posts. Like, me and my kid, we go out for a drive sometimes, and we got diverted down these dirt roads in the back of God knows where, and someone had cut down a tree and left it by the side. So luckily, I had a saw. So I've cut myself a great little fork, but I'm always on the look for like a natty fork just so I can make a slingshot. But yeah, I've given them away to kids. Like, I love natties.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I'm definitely in for one. The minute you start selling them, put my name down for one for sure.
Well, when the
I'm already supporting the channel with the belly, but
oh, dude, you have no idea how happy it made me to see you in that video yesterday. I started watching. I'm like, oh man, like it was so cool to see somebody wear my merch. It's the first time I've seen anybody.
I was so hoping.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was so hoping that you'd join the live, because I remember, like you said, like, oh, I'd be so happy if like I saw someone wearing my merch on YouTube. And like, this is just a small thing to put a t-shirt on, but like that's part of my personality. I joke around and all that, and I can be a dick like anyone else. I get it, but I do like to make people happy. That's part of the whole comical thing. I like to make people laugh, make people feel good. And if I can do this and that made you feel good, then bonus. Like, I made someone feel good for the day.
Totally made my day, man. 650, what's up, buddy?
Hopefully there hasn't been hundreds of questions while I'm on. Don't feel afraid to say, shut the up. Because once I get talking, sometimes I don't stop. As I say, I do like, it is a proper diagnosis, ADD. Like, my brain goes off in different directions. So sometimes I just drift off in conversation. So tell me to shut up. I wouldn't be offended.
Don't worry. Just let it rip, man. I'm not too worried about it. ATO, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Mark the Router and Blade Runner. I don't know what a Blade Runner is my two most used tools. Interesting. I'll have to look up what that Blade Runner is. I do know that the bandsaws for me, like, I'm kind of limited in the size of the forks I can collect at this point, because for me to slice those up and have something to be workable, it gets very, very difficult. The more, when you're sawing through a hole, like a 3-inch Y fork with a with a handsaw, it sucks. But once I get a nice vertical bandsaw, I'll be able to really slide these things through, get them nice and true and straight, take both those halves and make 2 full slingshots out of them. So that's where I'm thinking, just to get that done. I already have a drill press. I got a few other things that would be pretty good, but anyway, it is what it is. We're getting there, slowly but surely.
And just for anyone else,
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go on. I was going to say, like, I'm not pimping anything. Like, I'm not affiliated with these, but because you always say shoot paper, so I'm going to be shooting paper today. So this company or this website is www.targets.ws. They're free. You can print them, and so I've got like these squirrels. They do like a set of flies that you can aim at. They've got tons and tons of like these, and you just download a PDF and print it. But they've got tons of different targets. So if anyone's shooting paper is boring, well, make it not boring. As I say, I'm not affiliated. Anything I've ever mentioned is just to help the community out. I'm not affiliated, not trying to sell anything. They're just free. So,
yeah, but that fly target is pretty damn cool, because then you're just picking your shots on the paper, and that can get pretty tricky. That's fun. That's a cool setup. And you know what? Who cares if you're plugging somebody? Who cares if you're affiliated? Let it rip. That's a good product. Let it go. Yeah, and
that's it. They sell a lot of book. Like if you want to buy it from them, they do like a book of those, and you tear them out and put them up. But every single one in the book is free. You can just download it and print it. They've got Battleship as well. So I thought that would be a good idea. I know everyone's playing horse at the moment, but like if people like evolve,
is that the one?
So you can actually play Battleship, and they've got several games on there like you can play. So. Shooting paper is not boring. You heard it from me.
That's a truth. Yeah. So I've got a few more natties, a few more forks that I've got to wind up. I think the 3 that I have here, well, definitely these 2 are going to be kept. These are going to go into my collection. I may be looking for a home for this one, so I may raffle this one off if anybody's interested. I may raffle this one off. And one of my next ones that I do build, I actually have to send to somebody. So we'll see what goes on with that one, but we'll see. So what do you think? You want to shoot? We'll stop the chat and start the shooting a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
I'll get that as my T-shirt. Sharp and shoot.
Which frame do you want me to shoot with first? We've got the 3 natties that you've seen, Spitfire, Aries, or the pickle fork. Your choice.
I would say one of the natties, because we've seen the Aries a lot. So I've got nothing against the Aries. I've got my eye on one, but
I love it.
That Python looking skin one, but I've already overspent. So September. So I mentioned to Chuck. Yeah, that one.
Should we get this one going first?
Yeah, let's see how good that one shoots.
All right. You pick this one first, Paul. Done. All right, let's get you set up. Pedro, what's going on, buddy? All right.
I'll see if I can get my camera holder and bring it down here. All right, let me set something up with this.
All right, my Omega Slings guys, I got to take the hat off, but you know I love you. It's just too damn hot. I'm sweating balls. Again, another hot day. Is that it, Rob? You're out of here, buddy? I'll send you a message earlier pretty soon this week, and we'll see if we can set something up for a shoot. I just got to double check what the weather's going to be like, buddy. Atlantic Woodman, how you doing, bud? Did I see Brad in here earlier? Northeast Slingshots? Did I see him pop in here? I don't know if I saw him earlier on. Hoggy, you out too, buddy? Take it easy, buddy. All right. All right.
Yeah, sorry everyone I haven't talked to. Like, I'm not ignoring you. I'm still getting used to the whole live thing and reading chats. So please don't think I'm being rude. I'm just being me, which is rude. But I've actually put one of my squirrel targets up just for the fun of it.
Oh, cool.
Is it showing up? Yeah.
All right, guys. So I was actually talking to, I was trying to shoot a video of this guy yesterday, but it was so damn hot, and I pretty much gave up. So it was a big useless thing. But I'm actually looking to come up with a ATO branded frame. Now, I'm not quite sure how well this guy's going to shoot yet, how it's going to feel, or whatever it is. I mean, I've done some shooting with it, but nothing really crazy with a proper set on it. We got a proper set right now, but what would you call this guy if it was yours? Or what do you think I should call it? Hey, Chuck of Steel. We're thick-skinned, rooted up. That's what I like to hear.
The first name that comes to my mind is the Big Butt. Just looks like it's got junk in the trunk.
Oh, yeah. Do I do anything as a precaution to keep my ammos from rusting? Not really, man. You know, I got a big jar full of ammo that I've cleaned. Some of it's already starting to get a little bit gnarly again. I don't really care. I shoot them until it really starts. It starts to flake off or whatever it is. I discard those ones, but all the other ones that are smooth, if they're gray, I don't really care. We'll call it the ATO fatty. ATO smasher.
Or you could do the fat ass. So you could do like Cartman. Fat ass.
I popped an owl with a marshmallow. It was eyeing my dog. Try marshmallow surprise. Yeah, I bet he was surprised. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can put some hits on some stuff here. Woo! Tell you, what a big difference between a band set made for clay and a band set made for steel. It's gonna take a little bit of getting used to, I think.
Can you actually see where you're hitting?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
I need my eyes tested. Like, I can never see. I have to keep going up to it. And where did that go?
Yeah, the only time I miss, I can't see what I'm hitting at is when when my fork blocks the shot. If I'm not holding it stable enough. But
right,
for the most part, I mean, before I had my eye surgery, I couldn't see a damn thing at all, and I was pretty much hitting targets with luck. but now I could see really good far. I just have a trouble with that close.
Right.
Ooh, how did I miss that? That was so close. There we go. Yeah, I may have rounded the tip off a little bit more than I like. Yeah, there we go. That's the problem. Just had to change my reference just a little bit.
So did you adjust your reference point, or did you just sort of settle into the first one you had?
No, I've always used my fork tip as a reference, but when I first started shooting, I was shooting with a DZK Hammer Pro OTT and TTF actually, and basically I was using a sight. I quickly discovered that when I got my Titan Hunter that I really don't like shooting with sights. I like shooting right off the fork tip, and it made a big difference.
Right. Yeah, I've always had, I don't know if anyone else does it, if it's weird, but I use the knuckle of my thumb and it goes to whatever you call that bit, that little triangle in front of your ear. I've always done it there.
Oh.
And I think it was a natural thing because when I used to like doing archery with a big beard, the string would and rip out like half the beard. So I had to raise it up a bit anyway. So I not don't go home with like half a clean shaved face.
Bald spots.
Bald spots, yeah.
Yeah. If this was pulling out my beard face, I'd call it the ATO 50/50. So half my face would be bald, half of it would be half it would be furry.
I think these bands are on the verge of. Let's just switch over, change it.
Wow, I'm coming so close to that 25. I got the 12 one time, but the 25 is eluding me a little bit this morning. Gotta dial her in a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, it is odd how you just sometimes have good days and bad days. Like I was hoping, like yesterday when I done my live, would at least be decent. I couldn't hit a thing. I don't know what was up. Like, not that I'm a perfect shot, but just nothing. I was hitting nothing.
No, that happens. That happens to everybody. You have good days and bad days. That's kind of normal. For me though, I could pretty much equate all of my misses to my release. It's when I get a little bit rushed or a little bit rough of my release is where I lose my shots. I just always have to go back and concentrate on release slowly, not to rush it.
Yeah.
That's what makes all the difference. Really.
Do you find going live, because it's not my I'll give CG Slings the credit, but like he had put in my chat yesterday, it might be because you're shooting live and kind of makes you that bit more nervous and anxious. And it's like he's probably got a point there. Do you find that like your shooting's off if you're live?
Oh, 100%. It's call it Jake like the dog from Adventure Time. That would be a good idea, actually. Yeah, when I shoot live, it's actually kind of funny. Like I've done some videos with for members where I've come out and just did like a little bit of a talk and shoot, and I was going around my Catchbox hitting high repeat impacts. When you go live, you tend to be talking. You're not focusing 100% on what you should be doing, that kind of thing. I do find shooting live is tough. Actually, one time I was getting ready to do one of Andy Munn's Grizzly challenges, and he had 3 polo mints up there. I did a run through the polo mints 3 times in a row, 3 shots for 3. Hit the live button, took me 24 shots or 22 shots to get them all. Yeah. Andy was like, "Yeah, I stopped watching after 18, mate." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks for that."
Yeah, that's what I was hoping the live would go longer, because it's like, well, I realise I've done a few videos and I haven't actually shot one of these slingshots yet. I wonder if people just think, oh, he's a faker. He's not even doing anything. And so, like, I don't know, like in the video yesterday, I said, okay, I'm going to prove that I can shoot. And then when I just started missing everything, it's like, oh, Christ, like, could this go more wrong?
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm kind of noticing that we're missing, so I think you're going to want to have to poke me in the eye. Hit it twice good, real quick. Boom, boom. Let's go. Let's go. I'm waiting for you. Don't forget to give Paul a poke, too. It's important. We need this kind of love.
Yes.
Yeah. Release is a big deal, Al says, and he's absolutely right. I think a lot of people don't really... they're more worried about the speed and this and that, and than they are of developing their skills with their slingshots and their elastics. And really, most of your accuracy is going to come from your release. It really is. Yeah. It's really most important. If you're up there practicing, really, really think about your release. Pay the most attention to that. Forget everything else, even, really.
Definitely.
But
yeah. I'm seeing that now.
Yeah. Anybody who's having frame hits, fork hits, all that stuff, your form is either really, really bad or your release is trash, and you got to work on it. And that's it. And really, it's repetitions. Get your shots.
Yeah.
Get your shots.
It's that Zen mode. like, I'm noticing I can actually hit things because I'm thinking about my release. You've got it 100%. Like, I think yesterday I was just like, get through it, got to shoot, got to impress, got to do this. And it's like, now I'm more in that zen, I'm just having fun.
Yeah. And really, Paul, whenever you're live, I think probably the best tip I can give pretty much anybody about this is don't give a shit about what anybody thinks about how you're shooting. Just shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot and have fun. That's it.
Yeah.
And you are going to have moments of brilliance, and you're going to have more moments where you stink it up, and that's all part of life, and that happens to every single shooter out there. So
I couldn't agree more. Yep.
Tell you what, though, this natty is
satisfying.
Yep, I'm liking it. Honestly, I don't think I've ever felt a slingshot that was actually this comfortable. This is really, really nice.
So you managing to talk your son into it? Because I know you said a few times you're trying to talk him into sort of doing slingshots again.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched some of those earlier videos back from when we were just starting out with this whole slingshot thing.
Yeah.
We used to have this game we used to call Butt, BUTT, and
Right.
it was basically like the Omega guys are playing now. They're playing horse. It was basically the same thing. And if you hit your shot and the other guy missed, you get to call the shot, and so on. And anyway, we used to play that with cans, targets on the thing, and whoever lost, the other guy would be like, "Aha, you're a big fat butt," and we do the stupid little dance. But I mean, he was just a young little kid at the time, and I was just a young little kid trapped in an adult body,
yeah,
having some fun. And that was probably some of my favorite slingshot times, was actually coming out and doing that. So I'm hoping at one point I can get a live setup where just me and my son can come out, shoot, and answer some questions and talk shit to each other. It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my kid into it because like she came downstairs once while I was shooting, was pissed off about something. And I said, "Oh, look, try this then. Try just shooting at a can." And after 2 or 3 hits on it, she's like, "That is fun." So I'm trying to like push and come down then, do some more shooting.
No joke. I know this is kind of what I'm about to say is kind of I don't know. It's very today's language, I guess. But when I come home and I've had a really crappy day, and I have a lot of those coming back from my work. It's a very high stress environment. I mean, it is what it is. But when I come home, for my mental health, there's the tagline. I will go outside and sometimes shoot and just plink away at that target box for 30 minutes. And when I'm done, I come back out and I feel like I've had a vacation. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but if somebody
it doesn't to me. Like, go on.
Yeah, it's something that's very important to me, and being able to come out and do some shooting, do some relaxing, let some shots rip, work off some stress, it's fantastic.
I'm a big advocate. Like, I think most people are, and I'm very open about it. Like, I have my mental health issues, and I think most people do. So I'm quite a big advocate for mental health, especially for men, because I think there's that little bit of a push of, you got to be tough, you got to be the man of the house. Like, whether it's said or not, there is kind of that underlying be strong. And like the world is stressful. Sometimes you can't be that strong, and you need that release. You need to escape from everything.
Yeah, and so anyway, I'm not one of those guys that like to go talking about that kind of stuff too much. But I mean, on the same side of it, it is a fact. If you don't have an outlet, you need to find an outlet, and it can get nasty sometimes. But on the same side, it's much better. It's much better to come out here, go work. You get rid of all the mental gymnastics and the bullshit that you hear during the day.
Yeah,
just come out here, focus on one thing, zone in, and it really helps, man. It really helps.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't like to use that whole mental health thing is a lot of people just use it as an excuse to be an asshole, which is Oh, it's my mental health. Oh, I'm
Absolutely.
taking a mental health day. No, it's because you're fucking lazy. You know, there's some
Yes.
people that are like that, and there's a lot of that going on. That's why I don't like using those taglines. You know, but
Yeah.
when I like to come out here and just work off some stress, slingshots
Yeah.
are better than any pill anybody could ever give me.
Oh yeah, and that's why I think I dropped into the slingshot. Now that, as I said, like the difficulty doing the archery at home because of like the ceiling in the basement, and that is my escape. It's like I call it my little Zen moment or my Zen place because I can just tune everything out. Because that's what I was like with archery. Just like it was all everything just disappeared, and it was just me, the bow, and the arrow.
Yeah,
And I just
freedom,
love that feeling, that escape. Because when
mental
I was a
freedom.
kid, my escape when I was younger was Grand Theft Auto. And I would put in the cheat codes, so you just got infinite ammo of every weapon and just go and like shoot the shit out of everything I could see. That was my escape. See, proof that video games don't make people go out and do stupid, dumb, violent things. It's because I
No.
was doing it in a video game. So, but that was my escape, and now it's archery and slingshots. It's just that getting away from everything from the day. Like as you say, like the job I do is support. Um, there's most days I'd say I don't get a lunch break. I will go from like 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. constantly on calls, trying to figure stuff out, helping people out. And when you got to change your way of thinking, it's like, oh, could it be this? Could it be that? And your brain's constantly going. By the end of the day, I'm like, I'm done. I'm exhausted. Even though I haven't
Yeah.
got up and done anything physical, I just want to collapse on the couch because my brain's just done. So that's where the slingshots come in for me. It's like it gives me that time to actually calm my mind down and get into that little zen, relaxed phase.
Yep, that's you got to do what works for you. Eh? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do what works for you. Hey, Mikey, have a look at this, buddy. This was Friday night. Shooting like a dream, too. Yeah, when I came out yesterday, I was shooting clays with this thing, and it was just disastrous. And I was kind of like, oh, man, did I seriously just waste all that time to make a piece of shit? And, well, tried it with some, I tried it with some steel, and quickly realized, no, the problem was the clay. And anyway, with this new set on here, it's pretty nice. It's actually probably even a little bit hot. Probably, I could probably dial it down just a little bit, and maybe add like a half centimeter to the length, just to cool her off a little bit, and it would be perfect. Oh yeah, this thing's just you're sniping with this thing.
It's a good job I'm not on camera. Sorry, go on.
Mikey wants to make sure that the face is actually connected to the accent, brother. You better lean into that camera and show them. I got him in there, Mikey. Now you got to poke him twice. That's it, buddy.
Scratch the beard. I was gonna say it's a good job I'm not on camera because like I've got this fanny pack for like although in England we call it a bum bag for the ammo, and I keep reaching down and it probably looks like I'm scratching my nuts or something. People would be thinking, is he shooting a slingshot or does he have crabs?
Actually, Paul, I'm glad you brought that up, brother. This morning, morning, for all the little kids and people that have a hard time listening to some wacky shit, please do me a favor and go away for a second. So, yesterday, I'm out trying to shoot this thing. I did some laundry, had a really great day. Set up all my clothes up onto the wire, on the clothesline, and I'm figuring everything was good. So I get ready to go to bed. I'm like, crap, I forgot to take the clothes off the line. So I ran back downstairs, took all the clothes off, gave them a shake, folded them up, stick them into my hamper, brought them all upstairs, put everything away. I wake up this morning, getting ready for the live, put my clothes on, come downstairs, and I feel something tickling my boys. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I reached down there, and there was an earwig crawling on my balls. From my fucking clothes that were on the hammock on the clothesline last night. I freaked out, man. I took off all my clothes and hopped right back in the shower. It's off anything that was on me. It was horrible. It was a bad start, I'm telling you. All
It's
right,
not what you expect to see first thing in the morning.
What the fuck is that? Oh my god. Yeah, it was nightmare.
Well, if you ever do get crabs, the best way to get rid of them, put sugar in your underwear because it rots their teeth and they can't bite you anymore.
Oh man. Yeah. It was not funny at all, dude. I'm telling you. Anything but an earwig. Those things are freaking nasty. Straight up an alien movie, I'm telling you.
See, now I'm thinking of that movie, what is it, Stand By Me?
Yeah.
With River Phoenix, that when they go through the river and he's got the a leech. I said he's got a leech on his dick.
Yeah. That was a rough start in the morning. Oh yeah, I'm loving this thing. I would have fainted as soon as I realized it was an earwig. Do you guys get earwigs down there? All the way down in those hot areas? I think these things, they can go anywhere. Doesn't matter how cold, how hot, they're everywhere, those things.
So I can't say I don't know if Calgary's just weird for insects. Like 20 years I've lived here, I've maybe seen 3 or 4 spiders in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even exaggerating. Like, never see them. Sometimes, like if I'm clearing out in the basement, there'll be like a dead one in an old box somewhere, but I never see them. And earwigs, never seen one here. So not to say they're not here, but I've definitely never seen one.
Oh man, we had a couple of years where they were really, really bad. Like there was so sometimes you get these weird explosions of bugs or frogs or mice or the populations run wild. There was one, I guess it was sometime in early 90s. I was working at McDonald's as a kid, and the earwigs were just everywhere. Like from at home, at work, doesn't matter where you were. You would open up like the door frame of a house, and they would just rain on you. Like they were everywhere.
Wow.
It was horrible. Yeah. But it was like that really bad for 1 year. The next year was kind of not so bad. And then, oh man. Yeah.
The weirdest one I saw, it was in Georgia. I don't know, I know there's plenty of people from sort of those states. So it was 2004 when I first moved to Canada, and like me and my then wife or kid's mum, however we refer, we went from Montreal to Calgary, but we went all the way down to New Orleans across and then came up. So when we hit Georgia, so it was about September, October of 2004, and there'd just been a big storm, and they were swarming with these things called love bugs. And they're like 2 like flies, but it's almost like they're constantly mating, like they're stuck at the hip. So everywhere you see, there's like these 2 flies that are stuck together flying around. I've never heard of them. So I don't know if anyone around those areas can confirm that, but someone told us they're called love bugs. But yeah, like driving every like 15, 20 minutes, we had to pull over and scrape off the windscreen, like thick with it.
When they bite you, you smell like and taste like vinegar for weeks. Weird. Vinegar room. He's just busting balls, I think.
Yeah, Tennessee slang. Yeah, Ethan. Yeah, love bugs are awful. Yeah, so it was about 2004, and I'm pretty sure it was Georgia we was in at the time. And I remember because like there were trees down, they'd just been hit by a really big storm. But it's weird because they're like stuck. They're just like stuck together like this, and sort of flying around. They're stuck together at the butt or whatever bit of them.
Kyle Blackman, hi ATO, first time on your channel. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. You want to give me a poke in the eye? Hit that 2 times real quick.
Yeah, see, chucking steel. They're always doing it. Horny little buggers. Lucky little
Always doing
buggers,
it.
actually.
Vinegaroon. That sounds like a cool thing. We have some pretty gnarly bugs here in Australia, but you guys are freaking me out. Yeah, right, Adam. Come on now. Come on now. Just. I think everybody that lives in Australia is slightly suicidal with all the critters and the snakes and the king toads and everything you guys got down there. It's like terrible, man.
I got a friend who moved to Australia. He sent me a picture of the huntsman spider, and it's just like you get these in your house, big as my hand, like enormous. This thing, it looks like it could move in and like pay rent in a room. So yeah,
Yeah,
Australia's just crazy for insects.
yeah. They kind of screwed up on the name of that thing, calling it the huntsman spider. It should be called the oh fuck no spider, all in one word. that's what it,
Yeah,
that's what it should be called.
and I don't know if you get them there, but like we get black widows here, and I think they have them in Australia. Pretty much anything in Australia wants to kill you.
You have the widows up there?
Yeah, we have black widows here. Yep.
Oh wow, we don't have them here, and we're far more south than you guys. That's kind of weird.
I'm not sure. I thought we were pretty much like laterally. I thought we were pretty much similar.
Oh, maybe because we're really close to the in Montreal. We're like an hour away from the American border. How far are you guys?
Yeah. Oh, 3 hours ish,
Oh,
something like that.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're it's like an hour and a half max from my house
Right.
to the American border.
So would you hit Vermont then if you went south?
What I what?
Would it be Vermont? Is that the first state you hit, or do you go?
New
Is it
York State or
Maine?
Vermont. It'd be New York State or
All right.
Vermont, depending on which one, which border I used. I think it's New York
It's
State,
got to be
actually.
good. It's
Yeah.
got to be good that you can go down there and do shopping because, like, we get ripped off for everything up here. It's always so much cheaper in the States.
Yeah. Well, back in the early days when I was working at McDonald's, me and my buddies we could drive down to Messina, and we go do shopping there, and come back with all kinds of clothes and everything. And but now for us, ever since 9/11, things get a lot more complicated to go down there. Now we need a passport and all kinds of stuff. And
Right.
yeah, it used to be basically we'd drive up to the to the border, and we'd be like, "Hey Tom, how's it going, Mark? Everything good? Yep. You have a good day today. Where are you going? Going to the beach. All right. Catch you later." And that was pretty much it. Now it's far more difficult to get across.
What?
We used to spend
Interesting to hear. Like,
sorry.
go on.
Yeah, we
I
used
was
to
going to say, it'd
spend.
be interesting to hear. Go on, you go.
No, you go. Go ahead.
Right. It'd be interesting to hear like what you think of coming back because when me and the kids' mum went on our road trip, we were heading like we went down. I think we went to Vermont when we left Montreal. Like we got questioned, like dragged into separate rooms. Where you going? Who you seeing? Why are you here? Like an hour at the customs border. Then we done our road trip. When we're coming back in, and if I remember rightly, we were coming through Montana and up into Alberta, and we got stopped at the border there. So, like, going down into the States was not a nightmare, but it was a lot more work than it should have been. Coming back up, so the guy at the Alberta like border crossing, he looks at my passport and he says, "It says there you were born in Edmonton." And I'm like, "Yeah, because there's an Edmonton in North London. That's like where I was born." And he's like, "Oh, okay, welcome." And we drove off like 2 minutes and we were back in Canada again. Such a difference.
Yeah. We call mayfly love bugs and deer flies mayflies. Oh, weird. I hate deer flies. I
Yeah.
hate them with passion. Yeah.
Yeah, in England, they're called mayflies.
Oh yeah, I'm extremely happy how this thing turned out. This is bringing some serious heat too. I probably got these bands a little heavy, but man, super happy with the way this turned out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what these bands are because I got this Apex Plus. I don't know if everyone did, but they sent me a set of bands with it. But it didn't list that on the website. Like, I bought them from Wasp in the UK, but they gave me a set of bands. But these are pretty tough to pull back. I'm going to guess they're like a 0.6.
Are they're yellow, eh? Well, it
Yellow,
could.
yeah.
It looks like sniper sling to me. I know the.
Yeah.
I know the. They've got yellow. They got sniper sling, which is a very bright colored yellow. They've got Falcon over a Wasp that tend to be a little bit of a darker color yellow, but still yellow. And
Right.
and I think BSB has a yellow one as well.
Actually, I think you're right because these are. I bought a sniper sling a while ago, and that looks exactly the
Bang on,
same.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he sent them with sniper
Yeah,
sling.
I don't think it was listed on the site, so I was quite surprised when it actually had bands in there.
Oh, Mikey, if you've ever seen a deer fly, buddy, you'd be really and thoroughly annoyed. They fly around the back of your head like these little helicopters, and they land on you and they bite the shit out of you. They're little assholes. And basically, what I do is I take a piece of double-sided tape and I stick it to the back of my hat. So whenever these little clowns decide to land on me, they get stuck there, and then I got you now. So usually by the end of my hike, I've got 5 or 6 of those little turds stuck to the back of my head, and I just throw them into the fire when just when I'm getting ready for dinner. I just throw those little turds in there, and that's it. Problem solved. But that's the way to deal with deer flies. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Marcus Daimler, or Mo, as we like to call him?
And Lone Wolf saying 0.7. So yeah, it does feel like maybe a 0.7.
Oh, and those are heavy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty heavy. It looks like you got them cut nice and long, though. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, and I've got quite a long draw length as well because, as I say, I go back to my ear, that whatever that little bit of cartilage is called. So because I've got a bit of a longer draw, so...
So what's your draw, you figure? About 32 inches?
Yeah.
Something like this, yeah?
31 to 32. That's what I was with a bow as well, so when I checked it.
Yeah, oddly enough, my bow draw and my slingshot draw are exactly the same, 29 and a half inches. Man, maybe getting the 12 with
Did you ever get to look at that Dragonox website? The Swiss Army knives with the...
I pulled it up.
Those things...
I pulled it up real quick. I started to scroll through, and then I had to get pulled away for something. So I'm going to have to go back and really take a look. But his work looks amazing.
Yeah, and it charges like... probably $200 to $300, I think it was, for a fully custom. But he builds it from scratch and with like the Spyderco blade. But the waiting list, if you do decide to want one, I think like the wait list is like 6 months at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, but like even for me, like I think my everyday carry that I bought that I use now is called a Spyderco Ikuchi. They're insanely expensive. Normally, I would never ever buy that, but that year that I happened to buy that thing, I got a really good Christmas bonus, and I was kind of like, you know what? My paramilitary 2 I've been carrying for about 5 years. It's time for another upgrade, something a little bit smaller and lighter for an everyday carry. The paramilitary 2 would still be my choice for in the backcountry. Right. It's very robust, very well built. It's a solid design. You can't go wrong. But I bring the Ikuchi with me on a daily basis. And really, if I was to go back out in the backcountry in Northern Ontario again for another long trip, I would probably just bring that anyway. I mean, I'm not batoning things or anything stupid like that. I mean, it's just a utility knife that I could do everything from fillet a fish to start a fire with. So that's pretty much all I need. I mean, for years and years and years, I used a Victorinox Spartan. That was my knife, and I got by just fine with that. I didn't need no 7-inch blade belt knife with a 1/4-inch, a 1/4-inch stock blade. I didn't need any of that crap. That's just overkill. That's like the 60-year-old guy buying a Porsche. It's the same kind of deal. Look how big my grip is. And anyway. Not that some people actually prefer those kind of knives, and their outdoor skills actually are used on a one tool option
Yeah,
type deal. I get it, but for me, I would much rather have a saw to do a saw's work, a pocket knife to do a
yeah,
knife's work, and whatever, and that's it. Anyway, to each
yeah,
their own, right? Yeah.
yeah. My EDC is a Kershaw 8655. And the reason I mean, I like Kershaw anyway because of the clip, but the reason I got this, because not only is it the knife, and I have this in my car, you've got a belt cutter, seat belt cutter, and glass breaker as well.
Oh, very cool.
And this was, it's not expensive either. I think this was only like $45 Canadian.
Perfect.
And they told me apparently a lot of EMTs carry this because of that, that you've got the like the back switch and you've got like the little thumb thing to flick it open. But apparently lots of EMTs, because they've got the belt cutter, and it's like, well, touch wood, nothing ever happened. But if I have found myself in a situation, that's why this is in my car. Whenever I go out, I can get out, at least break the glass, cut the seatbelt.
Yeah, I constantly have a pocket knife on me pretty much every single day for my whole life, except for when I leave the country. is when I carry it with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. There's always a knife in my pocket just in case. I'd rather my dad always come out with like a few, or he came out with a few good sayings, and he'd say, "I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it."
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that too. You got all Mikey. You got Mikey all screwed up here. You're gonna have to straighten him out.
Yes, you got that right, Mikey. So I am a British person living in Canada. Where were you at the start? You should have just got up earlier, and I gave the whole story. You want me to do it again? So the Cliff Notes version, you can go back and watch, but as it's you, Mikey, just for you, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. So I lived in England 20 years ago, met a Canadian woman, we got married, moved to Canada, then I divorced a Canadian woman, and life has been great ever since. That was we get on great. Just for anyone, like, yeah, I am divorced, single parent. Like, I get on great with, like, she literally lived like 3 or 4 blocks away, and like we're always talking about the kids and that. Just one of them things. Couldn't be married, but we're just fine as like living, knowing each other. Does that answer your question, Mikey?
Go.
See, the one thing I was going to do, like when we first joined, there was a couple of ideas I had, because like I'm forever having hundreds of ideas. And I chatted with Mark just before. I was going to have this on. That was the first thing, and I was just going to pretend to be asleep and go, "Oh, it's too early," and put it back over my eyes. The other one was, as soon as it connected, I was going to go, "Oh, hey, Mark," in the accent. If you've seen the movie The Room, like that one that's meant to be the worst movie ever made, you've probably seen clips in the memes and where he throws the ball. And, "Oh, hi, Mark." So I was going to try and do that accent just because you said thought I was American. What, out of interest then, Mike, if you thought I was American, what accent from what state did you think it was? Yeah, see, Liam knows it. You know the movie that I mean. If you've never seen The Room, it is classified as the worst movie ever made, and it is. It is terrible, but it's the kind of movie you watch to just laugh at for how ridiculous it is.
Liam Jones. Am I mistaken? Isn't the guy on the left who does slingshots really proficiently? I don't know. Am I the one? Am I the one that's on the left for you guys? I am for me. I just don't know about for you guys. Oh, hey, Mark. Yeah. Okay, I guess you were talking about me. I don't know. I figure you were American.
No, just insane. Every now and again, I forget to take my meds, and it makes me really funny. No, out of there. Come on, over here. Sorry, the dog just decided to lay right in front of the target. You can stay down here, but not lay there, because I might kill you. And I can't do that live on camera. They don't like that on YouTube. Go on, lay down there. Come on, lay down.
Oh, just to let you know, Mikey, Jake received his slingshot from the last giveaway, and he seems to be very happy with it. He says it holds fantastic. He was very happy with that natty that I sent him. It was good to hear. And Liam,
So I did that.
have a look at this beauty. I made this guy Friday night, and we're getting the first shots through it today, and it's performing quite nicely. Yeah,
I did
Liam,
have a question that.
I've seen you around in a few lives, buddy. Sorry, go ahead. Keep cutting you off there.
Yeah, I did have a question because last night, like as I said, I'd done the unboxing yesterday, so I was cutting up some bands. So I've got a whole roll of elastic. Now, when you're cutting bands, do you just, as you're sitting there doing it, do you just cut a few to use, or would you just clear out that whole thing and put them in a bag for later on? Like, do you cut up the whole roll in one go, or just a few at a time?
I think it really comes down to the person, whatever you choose to do. I know Leon, he's still in here. He tends to cut a crap ton of bands in a row when he puts them in these little cool kits that he has, and he had about 50 band sets ready to go ready to go right away. Me personally, I tend to cut a section. So whenever I'm making my Omega Slings bands for a clipped frame, I'll cut them at 13 and a half millimeters long. And then I set them up for, basically I'll cut as many band sets that my template will give me out of that thing, and it's usually, I think it's 4 or 5 full band sets. I'll get off of one strip, and then I just band those guys up, put them into a little Ziploc bag, and that's what I do. When it runs out, I refill it.
Right.
That's all I do. I keep my roll sealed in the plastic, in the dark, in the box, in a drawer, to keep it away from anything, to keep it fresh, because light, ozone.
Yeah.
Will mess with the elastic a little bit.
And that's what made me wonder that. It's like, okay, well, should I cut it up or put it? Because what I've done when I've got like mail and it comes in those really black envelopes, I'm keeping those and putting the elastic in there, so it really tries to keep the light out. That's just like, okay, should I just cut it all up in one go while I'm on the roll, or are they just going to deteriorate? Is there like a pro or a con to cutting it all up in one go?
Yeah, the only pros and cons I could really think of is pretty much just to make make little batches at a time. For me, I like to do this only because, like I said, I don't want it to get to the air too much or whatever. But on the second side, if you ever want to make a change, you don't want to be stuck.
Yeah,
with, let's say
good point.
let's say you've made 500 bands. You don't want to get 250 and realize, oh crap, I should have gone about 2 centimeters shorter. And then you have to get through all those bands, and so
That's a good point.
Yeah, like what Mikey wrote down here is I do one template at a time.
Yeah, and I guess that also, if you go for a whole strip of like latex, and I'm saying, oh, I want to try long draw. Oh shit, tie two together.
Yeah. So I mean, in that case, I could probably do like I don't know, when I cut my pickle fork bands, I'm usually cutting those at around 70 or 80 centimeters, because I pull back to here. But that's pretty much what I do. So I do it section by section, and it seems to be a little bit more economical on my bands, I think.
Right.
All right, I think I'm going to change it up. I'm going to get a couple more hits on this thing. I'm going to change it up to another frame. But this one is an absolute win. I'm super happy with this.
Was that the one you're keeping, or?
Oh yeah, I'll be keeping this.
Or you're keeping it now anyway.
Yeah, we'll be keeping this one for sure. the ooh, got a little wrap and tuck issue here.
So have you tried frameless?
Yes. Frameless is for the crazies. It's
Yeah.
not for me. Yeah.
I like the idea of it because I made a little frameless taking shots. I don't know if you saw his video, but he like thread all the rubber tubing through like a paracord, so it looks like a paracord bracelet.
Oh,
And then
wow.
when you pull it back, like the elastic comes out of the paracord. So I made one of those, but yeah, whenever I shot it, it was like even if the ammo didn't hit my hand, the elastic would whip around. It's like, yeah, I'm not sure this is for me.
Oh, we got Liam Jones wondering what part of the UK you were from.
So I was from a place called Hertfordshire, so it's just north. That's why it seems like I guess you could say I've got a London accent, but just north of London. If you have a look at the map of London, there's a motorway that goes around it called the M25. It's literally a big circle. You can just go round and round. Just at the 12 o'clock. If it was a clock, I was just outside the 12. Were you trying to place the accent then?
Oh, what a difference. I went from shooting .5 electric white down to shooting .45 electric white, and the draw weight difference is insane. It's crazy. It's actually interesting. I'm going to be releasing a video on Olympus Green .5. And the thing that
Right.
baffled me, actually, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag right now. The thing that baffled me about that thing is I did the test, felt the draw weight, did everything like this, did the penetration test, all that stuff. But when I did the speed test, I got almost identical speeds out of the green and the white. It bothered me so much. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to release this video. There must be something wrong. There must have gone something wrong. I must have done something wrong. So I went upstairs. I created another band set, the exact same thing, and I made another band set slightly longer, just to see if it was me or if it was
Yeah.
actually the elastic that was pretty much the same. I came back down. I tested the the identical band set, and then I tested the other one, and the speeds were exactly the same. I think I was shooting maybe 4 feet per second faster with the green than the white. Like I really thought there was a bigger difference, but I didn't see it. So after doing my due diligence, I think I'm gonna release the video probably next week,
Yeah.
and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it really really freaked me out.
Yeah.
I
Liam, I saw you.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, Liam, I saw you say about Brighton. Yeah. Oh, I loved Brighton, little seaside town. That's one of my fondest memories of the UK, walking around the lanes. And just for anyone who doesn't know, Brighton is a little seaside town. They call it the lanes. There's like these little brick, stone cobbled streets, really tight together. There's all like these really weird, crazy shops. Like it's just nice to just walk around and look at all the weird stuff that's there. And I say weird with love because I'm definitely fall into that weird category. In case you hadn't picked up on that. But yeah, if ever you go to England, anyone, make sure you go to Brighton at least for a day because it's just such a great place.
So on this set here, I got this this natty. This is probably the last one I think I made in a video of. We carved this guy out. It's a great holding, great shooting slingshot. But the pouch I got in here is actually came from Spain from my buddy Gasper, who's a top shooter out in Spain. It's a goat leather
Right.
pouch. I really, really like it. And I'm actually curious if JB's still in here. I sent him down in that package I sent you. I'm wondering if you tried it out. For coming around, Mark. Probably next week, the giveaway for the next week. I'll be doing one for one for and one for everybody else. So the one or the brown one. Well, I guess we'll go. That'll be coming up next week. Yeah, I've got out to Mikey also for the giveaway for Andy. I'm thinking I'm going to send down the. I'm definitely sending down the GZK Sideways. It's a TTF slingshot. I'm freezing a little bit. How about now? It's not a glitch. It's me,
Yeah,
me being an idiot. Yeah.
You've gone a little bit watery to me.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah.
It's that bloody Eastern internet. Move out west. We've got better internet. I'm in a basement. See, better internet here.
Yeah, it's the language police trying to switch it to French, but the IA is not quite there yet.
Now, I've got a question because I was told this as a story from someone, and I don't know how true it is. But he said he was in Old Montreal, or just outside Old Montreal, and he was lost. And he went into a restaurant and asked the person at the door for directions. And he sort of went and then waved him across outside to cross the street, and then he told him where directions in English. And he's like, well, why did we have to come outside? And he said, because the language police would go nuts if I talked to you in English inside that restaurant. How true do you think that story is?
That could be very true.
Right.
That could be very true. I have my own experience that was caused actually by me being a hot asshole. But we had this Loomis driver one time come to my work, and we were putting. The guy was always a bit of a prickly guy. He would always only speak in French, which is fine. I live in a French province, so I would talk in my broken French to him, and I'd always get some kind of comment, and it would wear on me. And finally, I got to the point where I was putting boxes down by the loading dock, and his truck was lower than the loading dock, so he was standing in between the loading dock and whatever, and he could have reached out and literally grabbed the box like this, but he wanted me to push them right to the end so I could he could take them. And he made some comment in French that I understood that he thought I didn't, because sometimes there's that ignorance where I don't speak, he's not speaking a language very well, so he must not understand anything. And that's not the case. I understand really well. I just have a hard time getting the words out. So anyway, he ended up basically calling me like an English pig, and figuring I didn't understand. So I got pissed off and I kicked the box at him. And I let him have it in English to make sure he understood what was going on.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, we had the Bureau de la Langue Française show up at our office, and they gave us interviews for everybody. We had to go in one at a time, and the guy gave us a French interview, and he basically told me that I didn't belong living in this province. In this province, I should move to Canada, is what he told me, and I basically called him a fucking Nazi, and told him that, you know what, your bullshit is full of shit. My family's been here for 300 years. My grandmother is native. Now you're telling me I don't belong here? And anyway, it went back and forth pretty nasty for a bit, but he couldn't do anything legal to me, because at the time, the minimum amount of employees that they actually really had control over was 50 and above. And we only had like 38 in our company. So they had to let it go. And that was that. But now I have to be careful, because we have well over 100 people working at our place, and close to 1,000 company wide. So have to, or over 1,000 company wide, but I have to speak French pretty much all day at work. And, I mean, I've gotten better at my French since then, but it's very hard to think of trying to learn another language or learn anything at all, really, when you have somebody saying, you better learn it or get the hell out of here. Like that's to me, that's racism at its best. And you can call it what you want,
yeah,
but that's racism at its best. And since this new political party that came in called the CAC have come in, they've done nothing but chip
right.
away at English rights since they've been here. So another word gymnastics, right? They're like trying to say
Yep.
that it's to protect the French language, but really it's there to squash the English. They can call it what they want.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we never settled in Montreal was like the languaging, because I only know the very, very basics of French. And because one of the big things when I come to Canada was going out for ice cream. And I know that like anyone in North America is like, what? But in England, there isn't that thing. There is no ice cream store where you go out and just have ice cream. So to me, going to Dairy
Really?
Queen was a really big deal. Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
I was like a little kid, it's like we go a shop that just sells ice cream. Like it blew my mind. So I wanted to go there because I'd seen it in movies, TV shows, and it was me and my wife like, at the time there. And so we went in, and she's like, "Well, what do you want?" And I said, "Well, what is there?" And she's like, "Well, it's all on the menu." I said, "Yeah, but it's all in French." What a phrase!
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons we couldn't. I just wouldn't be able to live there because it would take me a couple of years to get up to a good speed of French to get a job or do anything.
It's kind of unfortunate because there's a lot of things that Quebec has going for it. That's really, really nice. But the divisiveness that they have here and the stupidity that goes on with the language laws and everything like that. If somebody came to me and regardless of the culture, came to me and said, "Hey, I want to show you what my culture is all about. Come check this out." This is how everything went forward, and we kind of from the fur trapping days and the French influence, and you bring everything in would be in. Oh, people would be super excited and enthralled in it because it's actually a pretty cool history. And with all the way down to the folk music that they play, the language that they play, they have a very outdoorsy. Well, the older generations have a very outdoorsy history to it with the fur trades and this and that. It would be fantastic, but unfortunately, that's not the way they go about it. And I'm not saying all French speaking Canadians are like this. They definitely are not. But unfortunately, with them, you have the extremists. The extremists are the squeaky wheel. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. These are the ones that are in power at the moment. It is what it is. It sucks because we're seeing that everywhere across all groups across Canada right now.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And like, I loved Montreal. Like when we were going out in Montreal, I loved it. It had that perfect mix of I'm in North America, but there's still kind of that European feel to it. So it wasn't a culture shock to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm still kind of in Europe. People are speaking French. The buildings and that. There's actually brick there. I don't know about like where you like brick houses. If you've ever been out east, out west, like they build houses out of plastic here. It's like Disneyland. So like to actually see that kind of thing was like, wow, I'm still kind of in Europe. Go on.
And the cool thing is too, like when you're in downtown Montreal in the old parts, they still have cobblestone roads in some spots, and it's like really old buildings with copper roofs and the whole deal. It's super, super nice, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Like if they could just get the new generation to realize that we've got far more in common than we do that's not common, and we should all get along. And it's like that thing where like me growing up, for example, I had a bunch of why would you be insulted by me saying good morning to you? If you understood what I said and I said good morning to you, I don't have to say bonjour. I said good morning. You could just answer me back bonjour, and I would be delighted that you answered me back. It would be sweet. But here we have this weird thing where you're walking down the street and you say bonjour to somebody, they don't even look at you. They just walk on by. It's not really a friendly environment. It's weird. But
see, to me, that little sarcasm, little bit of a troll thing would come out, and I'd be pulling out a little book and go, "Bonjour," just to push it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's funny, because I had in my friend group growing up. I mean, I had a couple of Haitian guys, I had a Puerto Rican guy, I had a guy from Peru, I had an English guy, I had I had a couple of French Canadians. One of my good friends growing up was a Muslim guy. None of this ever really bothered anybody. We didn't even really notice the differences between us at all. It was just a bunch of dudes hanging out, and that was it. And it's kind of funny. One of my best friends was a Jewish guy. I say Merry Christmas to him every single year, and he'd be like, "Yep, Happy Hanukkah." I'm like, "You too, brother. Give him a hug and move on." You know, like, I don't understand why
Yeah,
people can't do that now. I don't get it. Everyone is upset about or offended over everything. It's just
yeah.
stupidity, you know?
I think it's the old joke, like the just, and it's, you're right, it's the squeaky wheel. It's just like that minority that gets heard, but there's just that little group of people that wake up in the morning and go, "What should I be offended about today?" It's like, relax, like try and get on with people, like have a laugh. That's why. What another saying my dad said to me when I was little, and I think it probably explains a little bit why I am the way I am. He said, "In life, you get a choice. You either laugh or you cry."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you put that to anything. Yeah, you can either joke about it and laugh and move on, or you can sit there and cry about it. Neither's right or wrong, but that's the choice you have. Are you going to laugh about it and move on, or are you going to stop at this moment in your life and cry about it and then move on?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you know, yeah, I figure, you know, I try to go about treating everybody like a brother, regardless who they are, where they're from, you know,
Yeah,
color, race, creed. You know, I don't care. I really don't care. It's just, man,
yeah,
just start treating people with respect, and that's why at the end of every video, I always stay safe, and practice, be good to each other. See you
yeah.
again soon. I love you guys. You're freaking awesome, and it's true. It's
And
important, man.
I'm exactly the same. I don't care what someone looks like, what religion, whatever it is. As long as they're not harming me or my kids, like it's got nothing to do with it. People should just live their own lives. Like you do you, I'll do me. I will treat anyone with the respect that they give me.
Yep, and acceptance and tolerance has to go in both directions. You know,
Yeah,
people coming here need to accept us for our culture, and the people that are coming here and staying here as Canadians, we need to accept them as well. There has to be some kind of give and take. But
yeah,
that's it.
exactly. To me, it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like for me, I wonder if it's just people with like that knee-jerk reaction. It's like a fear. I don't know. I don't understand this, and it's a fear and backing off. When instead, like, and I think what you're saying, like, we should step forwards, and you meet someone from a different culture or whatever it is, like, oh, why do you do that? Like, one of the stories I had, and I refer to, and I don't know how politically correct it is, but like the natives, I'll say Indian, because I had worked with a guy who was native or Indian, and I asked him, and I said, well, what is it offensive? And he's like, no, not at all. It's, and knew the whole story. It's like Cook, and right, he thought he was going to India. That's why we called it. But because we had such an open rapport, I could ask him questions about his culture. Like
Yep.
he had like really long hair, and he was like, well, like in my spiritual belief, like all my power comes from my hair. And one day I went into work and it was all cut off. And I was like what happened? And he's like, oh, in like I don't know the correct terminology, but from like the tribe that you belong to, is like when your dad dies, you cut your hair off, tie it in, like tie it up, and it goes in the coffin with my dad because I'm passing my energy onto him in the next life. Like to me, this is fascinating. Like I said at the start of this video, like I love rituals and traditions and stuff like that. So to me, that's why I don't care about where someone's come from or anything. It's like I could learn something from you, be it right or wrong. I might learn that I don't like something about you because of what you do, whatever it is. But I'm going to learn something either way.
Yeah, that's something I would have dove into. Tell me everything, bro. You know,
Yeah,
it would definitely be one of those things.
because
Tell
it's
me
fascinating.
everything.
But you can sort of see of people around are like, oh, what are you asking for, and why are you saying Indian? And it's like I'd already asked him about the term. Like, what is it offensive? Like, I don't know. Like, explain it to me. And he's like, no, it isn't. Like, some people might be, but in general, like, it's an acceptable term. So I'm like, okay, so it's fine then. I know he's not ruling over it and saying, yeah, you can say it to everyone, but it's like, well, okay, he's obviously comfortable with that term, but it's all about that open conversation.
Yeah, one of my good friends growing up was this guy named Tommy. He was an Inuit guy, and I later discovered, you know, like, you know, we used to call them Eskimos way back in the day, and this was not a an accepted term. It basically meant raw meat eater. Then they
Right.
switched to Inuit, which was something like was kind of like what their group was labeled. But he liked to be called Inuk.
Right.
It's a word. I'm Inuk. I'm Inuit. And so anyway, we got to chat, and I spent almost all my high school years with that guy. He was an awesome dude. Now he's up there doing amazing things, running the the Inuit Olympics and passing on old skills and all this stuff to the youth up
Yep.
there, and it's very cool, man. Very interesting stuff. Unfortunately, I can't. He had asked me at one point to see if it would be okay for me to come up and do the, go through the training up in the north, and the elder said no. And I get it. I mean, you look at me,
Yeah.
I'm you know. We're not really the biggest fans of the Inuit or
Yeah.
the natives, really, and I get it. I'm not going to push the issue or anything like that, but I mean, like I told him, I said, my grandmother was Ma, which is Micmac, as people call it, from the East Coast, native
Right.
tribe there. Anyway, I mean, it is what it is. It's not going to make a difference. When you look at me, I can't prove anything unless I get my
DNA test.
my DNA tested like my aunts and uncles did. But now I'm finding out that all that information goes to Chinese companies, and I'm just like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not doing
Me,
that.
like, for my work, like, there's a lot of internet security and privacy and all that involves. Yeah, I'm very much on the privacy. I would never do one of those DNA tests.
No.
I'm intrigued if it was that way. Like, you could just send it in and they just send it to you. Oh, I would be intrigued to see what I am. But
Yeah.
I know my brother done like some things, and he's traced our heritage back to Ireland and Germany. So I know I'm like Irish and German, but yeah, that'd be interesting. But yeah, for the privacy and the stuff like that, I'd never do one of those DNA tests.
No, not for me. Yeah. Well, we got a nice little conversation going on here about hockey.
Yeah.
Are you a fan at all, Paul?
Kind of. So because I wasn't brought up in Canada, so I don't understand all the rules, but I can follow it quite well. The trouble is I don't have hockey eye, i.e. I can't see the puck.
Oh, yeah.
It goes so fast that it's like I don't know who's got it. So
it's a very hard sport to follow for people just joining in on it. That puck really moves quick, and when they get into stick handling and all that craziness goes on, they're deking and moving. It's like, whoa, that puck really disappears. I know.
Yeah,
for a while, I think it was on Fox. They ended up for a little while putting this stupid little glowy thing over the puck so people could follow it. And I mean, it was pretty cool in the beginning, but it quickly became annoying because it would block all the stick handling and all that stuff. And for people who are real fans, they really want to see that stuff, But and also you change colors with the shot to tell you how fast it was going. That part of it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But,
so I've been to a few games here, not the Calgary Flames, but I've been to see the Hitmen a few times just because it's a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah, why not? And it's fun to check out. I mean, even when you're talking like with the junior teams, they've got really good quality hockey to watch at that age. At that
and that's what I think that's what it is. The Hitmen. I don't know if they're like the junior teams. They look like they're sort of like 18 years old and trying to make it into the Flames. I don't know how you refer to that league, but I enjoy it.
Yeah,
it is a good. It's a good sport to watch.
Oh yeah.
I was just pleased my kids never took it up because I hear of a lot of these parents taking their kids like to practice at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm so pleased mine didn't.
There's that, and there's also the fact that most of these kids wind up with concussions by the time they're 11 years old, which is not really good either.
And they probably all get stars in their eyes of, I'm going to be in this team and that team. And but out of the 10,000 kids that are trying, there's probably 3 or 4 that get through.
Yeah. Hey, Smo, what's up, buddy?
Hello, Smo.
Who's the English guy? The English guy is is Paul Weber or Slinginerd. He's the man.
I've been lurking for so long, so I started my channel just over a week ago. And we're just keeping this on the Great White North. I think Mark just wanted me on here, like, let's do all Canadian, even though I'm not really Canadian.
How far are we in? About 2 hours and 4 minutes at the moment. Just to show you, I've been shooting a natty for the most part so far. Smoke. Look at this beauty. Carved this guy out Friday night. Super, super proud of it. Shoots like an absolute boss. Just loving this thing. And now I'm shooting another natty. I'm gonna get a couple more hits on this guy. Then I'm gonna switch it up to another frame. Probably something a little bit more modern. Tennessee slanging. Listen to this. There was a guy. I believe it was in the Stanley Cup Finals against Calgary Flames back in the day. His name was Eric Desjardins. He was a defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. He got cross-checked from behind, hit the crossbar of the goalpost, and got something like 17 or 18 or 19 stitches, and he lost 13 teeth.
Wow.
He never even missed a period. He went onto the back, got stitched back up, and he was right back up on the ice, hopped up on the good stuff, and finished the rest of the game. That's a legendary, freaking legendary. You got to check that out. Eric Desjardins losing teeth in that thing. It was crazy. Blood, teeth, spit, everything. His lip was hanging open. It was disgusting. Yeah. Hockey players are a different breed. Actually, you could see there was a video one time of Ovechkin sitting on the side of the bench. Guy skates by, shoots the puck. Puck hits him right in the face. He does this. That's it. Piss and blood. Yeah, I love it. Hockey's awesome. It shouldn't be considered a sport. It's more of a combat sport than it is a game. I'll be honest. Yeah.
My teeth hurt just hearing you say that. So
yeah. Hockey players eat their young, man. I'm telling you.
That's the old joke. I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
Yeah. Well, I've been at a hockey game one time with the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal. We're playing Vancouver, and within 5 or 6 rows below us, a whole brawl broke out. And some guy got tossed over the side and got thrown down into the crowd. It was insane. Yeah, hockey. It's great stuff.
So have you ever looked at living somewhere else in Canada, or is Montreal home?
No, for me, Montreal's home. I mean, I would probably have an easier time living in one of the Western provinces, because of the language issue. But I don't know, man. There's something about Montreal, Quebec, that area. It's kind of romantic.
Yeah.
It's just it's got that old feel to it. I mean, there's a bunch of the food is fantastic. If you've ever been going around to these places, getting some of the food and the restaurants that are here, it's off the hook. Like I've gone to Ontario a few times, and for those of you who live in Ontario, I apologize, but getting decent food at these places, like you can go in Quebec, you have these little mom and pop shops like Chez Fernand or these places like this, and it's like Fernand's place or Bob's place, but you go inside and the food is just on a whole other level. And I find a lot of that is missing in a certain. Actually, to be fair, it's disappearing here too. But I mean, there's the culture thing that's really nice. I mean, I love that part of it here. The old, really old buildings and all that stuff. Like I had a friend of mine. I used to go down and visit her all the time. The building that she used to live in Old Montreal was something like 200 something years old. It's really nice. I know for you guys living in the UK, that's nothing. You guys got really, really old structures there. But up here, having that old school influence on these buildings is just beautiful. You go to the old port. You got great food, beautiful women, gorgeous place, amazing nightlife. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, I know they talk about British Columbia being Canada's playground. Montreal is pretty much the same.
Yeah. I mean, I think I said at the start, I'm a big stand-up comedy fan, and I mean, just for last festival, what is it, 7 or 10 days of just comedy shows.
Yep.
Oh, I'd be in my
Yeah.
element there.
Oh yeah, they've got the whole festival season going through the summer where the Old Port's got something every single week. They put up concerts and joke fests and music fests and all kinds of things. It just never ends. It's a real fun place to come to in summertime, you know?
Yeah.
And then when they've got the F1 races and all this other stuff, I mean, man, it's if you can't find something to do here, there's something wrong with you, you know?
Yeah.
In my case,
That's
in
what.
my case, in my case, I'm just like I'm like a social retard that doesn't want to be around people. So, you know, I'll do one little quick run per summer. I'll pick and choose which one I want to go see, and then I'm good. I'd rather just go hang out in the woods myself, but I have that option too, which is nice.
Exactly.
You know?
I was just going to say that you have the option to go there.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, like we have a saying in Calgary that if someone comes here, it's the end of their career. Because whenever you look like bands that are touring, they'll go Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, but they completely skip out the prairies. And it's like when they finally do start coming to Calgary, it's like, yeah, that's the end of their career. They're really like scraping the barrel. Hate to say it, but it like have a look up your favorite band. You see it be Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver. Completely skip it. Saskatchewan, Alberta.
Yeah,
I get it. Like there's not the people here. Like Calgary is, I think it's only like 1.3 million.
Really? Is that it?
They say city of Calgary. Like I kind of laugh and I say, well, no, it's actually like kind of a big town. It's not really a city here. Yeah, it's small. So I get it. There's not the population here for like the big stars to come here. They do every now and again, but yeah.
Yeah. So do you have a good grasp of the Canadian, French Canadian language, Mark? Not bad. I'm pretty good work lingo wise. Small conversations, simple conversations, I'm pretty okay. But besides that, no, not really. When with the written or the reading part of it gets pretty tough for me. But I can hang with the guys at work. I've got enough that I can joke around a little bit with them, which is the most part of it, and that's about it, I guess. That's not much smaller than the population of Brisbane, which is I think
for me
like,
it's Bonjawa. That's it.
I think we've got like 4 million in Montreal. Might be more than that now. Yeah, four or 5 million.
Now, poutine, I have a little story for that because the kid's mum, being from Montreal, like when we were getting ready to move over to Canada, she just raved about poutine. I was like, oh, you got to have this, and described it. And it's like, oh, cheese curds and gravy and fries. And it's like, yeah, that sounds so good. But she spent so long raving about it that when I finally had it, it was like, oh, was that it? And it is good. Poutine is good. Anyone coming to, and especially in Montreal, but I will stand up for Montreal for that for sure. The poutine there is levels above what we get here. But it was just a shame that she was so, oh, poutine, it's amazing. It's this dream food. Like, it's from the heavens. Like, the sun will shine down on your bowl, that kind of thing. And so when I finally had it, it was like, it was hyped so much. It was like, oh, that didn't live up to the expectation.
Where did you have your poutine?
I would have to ask her. I can remember, I can picture the restaurant we went to, but I can't remember the name of it because it was like 20 years ago. I'll ask her though. When I speak to her later, I'll ask her where it was.
What was there a lot of green inside or on the sign?
I really can't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember what I was doing yesterday. This was 20 years ago.
Come on, Paul. There's going to be a quiz later.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
How many times did Paul swear?
Oh, let it rip, buddy. It's okay. Freedom.
I'm trying to be careful,
my friend.
I got pulled up at work because I tend to swear at work as well, and like even with clients, but like not just outright. Like I'll get the feel, and if they're kind of stressed out and they're swearing, then I kind of come up a little bit to let them know, oh, we're on even par. Oh yeah, that is a load of shit. Oh, for fuck's sake! Like I try and match their stress level to make them feel a bit more heard and welcome. But I've been pulled up at work like, oh, you can't say that. Especially that very, very rarely, but there's a certain word that begins with C that I know North Americans really hate, but Brits use it all the time.
I
And it's like, I've
freaking
got to be
love
so
it.
careful not to use that.
Yeah. Yeah, they really don't like that word here for some reason.
First time I used it when I think it was in Montreal, the look I got, I might as well have pulled a baby out and like cut its head off with a saw. Like the look on their face at this word was like, really? Like, I don't get that reaction to it. Like
Yeah.
in England, we call each other as a term of endearment. How you doing, you? I
Yeah,
won't get you demonetized. I won't use it.
no, for me, whenever that word comes up and I feel the need to say it, because I know people go batshit overhearing it, I just say, see you next Tuesday.
Yep,
That's all I say.
that's a
I'll see
big one
you
in
next
England.
Tuesday.
Yep.
So they're like, what? And I just turn around and walk away.
I might get away with this one. One of my favorites, especially in Alberta, because anyone who doesn't know Alberta, as I said, it's Dallas, Texas. It's very kind of country music. I mean, we have Stampede here, so it's all cowboys kind of thing. And I came out with a joke: where do country singers come from? They grow on the country. Doesn't go down well here because everyone loves country music here.
Man, I'm getting quite a few bounce outs. I'm gonna have to go by with the magnet there later and pick up half of those.
Yeah, I'm just starting to miss everything. So
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. It's hard when you're switching around with frames all the time too. You get one
yeah,
shooting the way you want it, and then next thing you know, you're all over the place again.
yeah, I noticed the scout, like the elastic was beginning to go, and it's like I haven't got the energy to change it. So
Yeah, it's not really good to push it either, in case you get a frame hit or something.
yeah. And plus, I'm looking forward to trying out these billies. Like I'm going to have to do a video of these. Oh, that made my day. Yes, they're doing that package opening. That's what kind of. I don't know if it sounds weird, but that's what I kind of wanted to share it with everyone. I was like trying to like open the box facing the camera because I wanted everyone to be a part of it. It's like to me, this is a big thing. Like it was. If you saw the video like yesterday when I done the live, it was when Rick was on your channel. That's what made me sort of okay. I'm going to order because I can't. I'd love to be able to order from everyone in one go, but I can't. I have to like do one by one. And so he was on my list because I just loved that look. But when he was on your channel, it's like, yeah, I'm totally going to get one. And
Rick's
then
an awesome dude.
yeah, I don't know if I was pissing him off, but like, joke is, he's cool, he's really good. But like, because I ordered two, and then after a few days, it was like, oh, can I have this one as well? I added another one in. And then he just sent me a message and he went, your package is going out tomorrow. And that was like, oh, I just saw the Rogaroo. Could you add one in there? So it's like, it ended up being 4 frames. It started off as 2 and ended up being 4. Which now with my brain, it's kind of saying, you've got to get them all now. You've got to collect them all. Like you need the set.
Yeah, you gotta reel that in though, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta reel that in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Especially, like I said, because like Mega Slings, that's like one of the ones I've got. Like that's going to be my next order in September. But it's just like for August, it's like pull it back a bit on the spending because I've got plenty now. And like me and my kid, we love going to the medieval fair and stuff like that. And there's a couple of those going on during the summer. So it's like, yeah, I've got to spend time and money with the kids. And then September, I'll drop on a mega order because I've really got my eye on the. See, I don't know whether to go for it or not. The Aries, so I know you love it, and it does look like my kind of frame.
Shooting it right now.
But the colours that were on the website before, it's just like the colours just weren't me. And it's like, I know if I get one anyway, just to try, I'm not going to pick it up because the colours just don't feel right. So when I saw that Python, the snake one, I was like, oh, I want that. And then it was the price. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe wait till September. But
Yeah.
I'm dying to get an Aries. But then it's like $200. Should I just get like one of the cheaper models just to see if I like it? Then I've not dropped $200 on a frame that I don't know if it feels right in my hand.
Yeah.
I think I phrased that fairly because like even
you
with like the sorry, go on.
could always just get the Aries HD and then wrap it up in
Right,
some kind of wacky color that you want to, but that'll give you a good
that's a good
feel of how
idea.
it feels like with a fair price. I mean, I think what are they going for? Something like about $50 or something like that. I
Yeah,
think I think I think once you put that in your hand, you start shooting with it. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And
yeah,
if that's the case, if you love it, like in my case, this thing hit my hand the first couple times I started shooting it. It was just like I was so used to shooting the Spitfire at first, but I transferred into this one, and then within no time, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this thing is just marvelous." I
yeah.
am, it's my everyday carry. I carry it with me all the time. I basically sleep with it under my pillow. You know, it's a, it's pretty crazy. It's a great frame. But
Yeah, and that's why
I,
I think
I
I like it because it's not too dissimilar to like shape wise. It's not too different to the Apex, and that's why I'm like, yeah, I think I'm really going to like it. But that's a good idea. Get like the $50 one, wrap it in gutted paracord, and just get that. So I may go for that more. I've got no problem dropping the $200. Like the work is worth the money. If someone puts their heart and soul into something, it's worth the money. But it's like I don't want to spend $220 on a. I think it's 220, especially because it's US, and the pain that I feel as well when you see US dollars, and it's like, well, that's
yeah,
about another $80, $90 on top of that for us. It's like I don't want to drop that amount for something that I fire 2 or 3 times and go, yeah, it's not for me.
yeah. But I would definitely, if you want to try it, I would definitely start with the
Yeah,
Aries HD, see how it feels. You can always design it up any way you want because it's like a cool stonewash
yeah,
looking finish. You can go ahead and put some of that that stuff they use for wounds there. They wrap it up. It's like a
oh yeah, yeah,
stretchy.
the gauze stuff. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they
I
got
know what you mean.
all kinds of different colors that you could use, and you could really personalize it any way you wanted to with any kind of wrap or
Yeah,
shrink wrap or anything like that. I mean, that would definitely be the way to go, or I would go
yeah,
anyway if I wasn't able to get one of these.
yeah. I think, but yeah, that's a good idea. I think that's what I'll go for because I don't want to spend 220. Because if I buy the $50 one and then I don't like it, I can donate it, give it, raffle it, or whatever. It can go. But when it's $200 and you're like, oh well, for us like 300, it's like, oh yeah, that's a little bit. What if I don't
Yeah,
like it?
it gets a little pricey. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
I
why I
mean,
think I phrase it fairly because like even the Ocularis, like I know there's people out there that love that frame, and I jokingly say I hate it. Well, I'm truthful, I hate it, but it's not. I would never say to anyone, "Don't buy the Ocularis," because it may be for them.
web shooter here. He writes, if I go any farther into the rabbit hole, I'm going to have to change my name to Alice. Yeah. No, but that's definitely part of the thing. I mean, especially when you're first starting out, getting your collection together, there's going to be frames that you
Yeah,
shoot well, and then there's going to be frames that change your life. And
yeah,
in my case, the Aries for me changed. It's like one of those frames. It's just crazy. I mean, I went out and I
yeah,
bought a core. I want to make my own now. I'm going to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff with it. Um, and I know I've got one as a trial. I've got one as a trial. The next one's going to be, I'm going to probably sell a cord version of this somehow. I don't know yet, but we'll see. And then, anyway, it is what it is, but it's hard. It's really hard with everything so expensive. Like, I don't know what the food prices are like out by you, but they're disgusting over here. So, you
insane.
know,
My
yeah.
food budget. So for me and 2 kids was I can going back to like 2018 was about 650 a month.
Yep.
So after COVID now, and my son lives with his mum. I say it's not like oh he's with his mum. Like he's 18. Like he's settled there, still seeing everything. So it's just me and my daughter now live here. So just two of us. It's $1,000 to $1,200 a month. So it's doubled in the last 6 years, and
Yeah.
I'm one mouth less. It's crazy here.
Yeah, it's nuts. Same deal here. I mean, if we had decided just to buy a whole bunch of shit food, like all that processed box stuff, we could probably drop that price down quite considerably. But if you want to buy a Whole Foods, like actual meat and actual vegetables, and then cook your own food,
Yeah,
it costs you an absolute fortune. It's crazy. It's almost like they're pushing you to get sick. you know,
yeah,
you go to the store to buy a pound of hamburger meat, costs you $12. You know, and but you can still get a tub of ice cream for $3.99, $4. It doesn't make any sense to me, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's like, I wonder how many other countries are like that. I know it's like that in England. Like people are saying, like when I call back to my sisters and that and talk to them, and they're like, "Yeah, oh, it's terrible in England as well, like
From,
affording food."
from what I understand, it's all the NATO countries that are like this. I mean, different varying degrees of it. I mean, but we've got our idiot, leading the charge on all
Yeah,
this fucking stupidity here. So it's, I mean, it is what it is, right?
I'm
But
100% with you on that thought. Yeah,
yeah, hopefully that turns around a little bit because I mean, we still got a whole other year to go to an election. You know how much damage
yeah.
can happen. You know how much damage can happen in a year. You know, man.
I don't even want to answer that. It's frightening to even
No.
think to answer
Actually,
it.
let's just leave that one aside.
Yeah. I did
Yeah.
rename him to Turd Poo though. When
Oh, hey, it's true what the Truck of Steel just said. He said the HD is 40 USD, and the Python is 145, which gives us 200 Canadian
right,
around.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that must have been it. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Chucky. I must have done the calculation and
Yeah. You were seeing
200 in Canadian.
Yeah.
And now this one I'm thinking 200 US. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because Omega Slings is one of those sites, and probably the only one I think that actually converts it into our dollars. So when we see the prices,
right.
our dollars. Yeah,
That's
and thank
probably
you for
my
that. That's
well.
freaking awesome, by the way. Yeah.
Thanks, Chuckin, for like highlighting that. So yeah, I'll probably go for that then. That's a bit more. So yeah, I'll almost certainly be getting one of the Python ones because I used to own snakes. So that's why as soon as I saw that, it's like, oh, I've got to get one of those. So yeah, there'll be an order, but it's September. If I got it now, my kids would be so upset that now we can't eat and go to the medieval fair. I know I keep saying the medieval fair. It's just our little tradition. We've got a few little traditions that we do each year because we don't fly around the world. We don't go to like Disneyland or anything. We just do little day trips out, and that's just one of our things every year we look forward to.
Yeah, we actually go to the Highland Games every year. We have that.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, this year it's actually today. But we're not. I don't know about my wife and my son. They may still go, but I'm not going to go hang out in this heat all day long.
Yeah. It's got to be interesting. Like I saw it in England when I'd go up to like Scotland and stuff, doing the caber toss and all that.
Yeah. But it's kind of nice to go there because you can get the. I mean, I'm big on the food, so usually when I go out there, I like to get some black pudding. I have my
Yeah.
I bring my black pudding home. We pass by this place called Muir's, and it's like a British couple that moved from over there to over here. They stayed in Montreal for a while. They were really, really renowned. Everyone knew them, and then they moved to Maxville, just on the other side of just on the open beginning of Ontario. And they've got a nice store there. We go there, we pick up Scotch pies and bridies and black pudding, and they've got a nice little store there with all that goodness inside there, and they're doing well. But that's the thing I like about the Highland Games. You're going over there, you're getting your deep fries Mar bars, you're getting your your crisps, you're getting your bridies.
I wondered where you knew it from. When I said yesterday about the deep fried Mars bars, and you was like, "Oh, they're great." I can't remember which channel thing was watching. I wonder how you know about that. So that explains it.
Well,
now
we had this. We have a couple of places, a couple of watering holes we used to go. There was one place called Kelly's Pub. It had the best fish and chips in the island of Montreal. It was fantastic. You can get your mushy peas, all that stuff there. Steak and chicken pie, all that good stuff. And there was another place called Britain Chips. And this is the place where we used to get the deep fries, Mars bars, the Scotch eggs, which I had for supper last night and breakfast this morning. I mean, there's a lot of these things that we make, And anyway, my wife's parents are from Scotland, and we get to dabble in a bunch of their food from time to time, also, which is kind of nice. But the black pudding, and actually, a good friend of mine, I was telling you earlier that one of my friends was from England. This guy Graham, and he got me turned on to Chip Buddy back in the day.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was so freaking good, man. We used to go to this local pub. We'd order a bunch of drinks. We'd go there to watch the boxing matches and whatnot, and we get the fries, the HP sauce, the bread and butter, and boom, that was it. It was freaking awesome. Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, I don't know if it's like this. Like some people say, "Oh, the food in England is bland." It's like, no, you just haven't been to the right places. Like a chip butty is like, oh my god. For those that don't know, it's like a sandwich. So you get the slice of bread, put butter on it, and then just fill it with fries or chips, as they call it, because they're a lot bigger, and ketchup. And oh man, it's so good.
yeah, we used to cover it with house with HP sauce. I don't know if you probably
Yeah,
know what that is.
the brown
Yeah,
HP sauce. Yeah,
yeah. We freaking love that stuff, man. And those things were delicious. And also too, a lot like when you go to a lot of British pubs that are out here or English pubs that are out here, a lot of them serve some of the best curry you'll ever have in your life.
yeah,
So that's another thing too that people sleep on is if you're not in India eating Indian curry, the next best place is to eat it in England.
yeah.
It's true, man. It's true. And
I'm a
we have
big Spice fan, and yeah, I've not many countries, but quite a few. Yeah, for sure. I've never been to India, so I couldn't say for sure. But yeah, England by far best curry. I think it's because there's such a big Indian population there, community. Like, so you bump into it. Like, I got taught some things. I used to have an Indian girlfriend, and not like a relationship girlfriend, but like her mum used to cook like these amazing things. She taught me to do the naan bread. And said when you do naan bread, just get a fresh lemon and just squeeze a little bit of lemon over it before you heat it up.
Mhm.
Oh, the difference it made. Just these little traditional things that you don't know about, but it gives it a little tang.
Oh yeah, and it's good. And you know what? One of the restaurants that I used to go to, there was this place called the Himalaya. It was out here, and they used to cook their naan bread on a stone wall, and they would stick it to the side of
Yeah,
a stone wall with a
yeah,
wood
I've seen
burning
that.
stove. Oh my God, what a difference! What a difference! That place was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, that place was fantastic. Dave, there are a few differences. The handle being the biggest differences to me, in the fact that if you have to wrap the Titan yet. I haven't tried a skeleton yet. Have you tried one of those yet?
no,
No, I gotta get one of those and try them out. I saw them; they look pretty damn cool.
yeah,
I'm gonna give it a shot because I really like the Titan Hunter. It looks very similar, but it seems to
yeah.
have more of a finish on it, so you could leave it as is, which is kind of cool.
I definitely like the idea of it, but yeah, so I'm just putting the brake on just for a month or two, and then I'll start buying again. But I know I can get carried away, just like the talking. I can get carried away with buying, and it's like, that, that.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else like the figure eight descender catapults? I like them. I've never tried one kit boosted. I haven't tried one yet, but I think I'm going to give it a shot pretty soon at some point. I'll probably end up making my own, to be honest, but they look pretty cool.
I've never
Uh, the,
seen them. I hadn't heard of those.
it's like a rock climbing figure eight style thing, and
All right.
they tend to cut the forks off of it on one side,
Oh, I've
and it
seen.
creates like a fork. Yeah, it looks pretty
You get the
cool.
smaller circle and then a bigger circle on top, and they just
Yeah,
give it a crop top.
typically they would link it up to like a carabiner on them, and then they would
Right.
run the line through it. So when they're descending slowly,
Yeah.
they would more controlled descent. But this is what they started making slingshots out of it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm not sure of. I haven't tried yet. I'm trying to look for a cheap one to do. Is I've seen some people like the little finger hole. Some frames have that where you push your little finger in. But I want to try and find a cheap one just to try that out. Because to me, in my head, it feels like it would be uncomfortable to do
With the
that.
pinky hole, like frames with a
Yeah,
pinky hole, you're talking about? I actually like
yeah,
it. I like it. Yeah.
yeah. I'll have to try. I'm definitely willing to try it, but like, I don't want to drop like tons of money on it. But yeah, I definitely want to try one of those just to see. It might be great.
Yeah, it definitely worth giving it a try, and you can pick up a lot of these little cheapy frames all over the place and see how they
Yeah,
see how they see how they work and feel. And then if you ever want something that's going to be a you want to make a custom out of it, that's the best way to go
yeah.
about it. You know?
Isn't it a shame there's no like slingshot shop like all around the world where you could go and just try it out, like going to a range and like if you buy a bow, I've been into archery, whatever bow shop you go to, they've got a range and you can go and try it out, see how it feels. But wouldn't it be great if there was a slingshot version of that and you could just try
Oh
the
yeah,
frames?
that would be freaking awesome. The only thing that would be terrifying is, ooh, I really like that custom. Let me try it. Clink, frame hit. Sorry, I don't want
Oh
this one.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
this
good
one's got a
point. Yeah,
ding. Yeah, this one's got a ding in it. I don't want this one.
Yeah, that's what scares me about getting like something from like Lone Waller, something like that, and it's like $300-400 to us. And I know me, it'd be like first shot, dink, big dent, and it's like, oh no. So it kind of scares me a bit about that.
I think at some point I'm going to have to add a Moan slingshot to my collection.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of his work. It looks really, really nice.
Well, I joked with like Lee Harrison, who done like the Freddy Krueger one. I said, oh, maybe I'll go for like the trifecta and get you to do like a Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers as well.
No joke. That frame was absolutely beautiful, and there's so much about it that I like. It's so thin. It's so thin. Yeah, look at this, guys. Look at this. Yeah, the thing is stunning.
Let me get this one down. So I hold the band up. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you got that for that little palm swell. It is. Like, I'll do a full shooting review on it, but it is beautiful. It just fits in the hand. Not yet, no.
Oh man, that thing's.
So I am. Again, like this is like, I mean, this one was quite a bit of money, so I'm going to use clay. I'll do it, but I'm going to do a video of it, of the first shooting, which is what's down here. I was going to do a video of it later. But for anyone who didn't see the video, just to show, because I'm a big horror fan. Anything horror I'm into. And when I saw Lee do, I think it was a pumpkin design. So I started messaging him going, could you do this, like Freddy Krueger? So that's what he's done. So the red and green stripes for the jacket, the brown for his hat, and then here is the blades going up. Like, he's done a great job on it. I absolutely love it. And he's done like these little scratches in it. So he said it looks like Freddy's grabbed it. So like there's these little scratch dents down the edge. You don't even feel them. Like you don't even know they're there. But it's like, oh, he like what I had in my head. Oh, it made it even better. But yeah, I'll be doing a video of shooting that probably today. Release it tomorrow or Tuesday.
How do you find that holes in that giant mid of yours?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, because I've got really, really big hands, so I find it fits just fine. Because I'm a thumb brace, so well, I can show it.
Can you get all your fingers on it?
Yep.
Oh, all right. So perfect.
That swell there just fits fine in the fingers. So yeah, it actually feels really comfortable. Again, like the frames are hit and miss depending. It's subjective. Like someone may get it and not like it, but for me, I honestly, when I opened it, I was like, "Oh, that's small. I don't know how that's going to fit in my hand." Because yeah, it's as you see, like it doesn't even cover the palm of my hand. I've got really ginormous hands, but it is nice. It's a nice frame, so I'm really pleased with it.
Oh wow, it's really nice. When I saw that in your live there, or in your video, I was freaking out. I'm like, holy smokes, look at that thing.
Yeah, if you watch the video, he did a video of like making it because I thought of you because you said, oh, he was looking for a video of people making it. And it's like, oh, this is perfect. He's actually showing you how he made this one. Oh, and wow. He goes over like a few things. So yeah, if you go on his channel under me Sling Ting, I think if you go to my video, I put a link to it. But he shows you all like the sanding, how he put it together because he actually pulled it apart again at one point. Like the metal parts. And he says this in the video, like he wasn't quite happy with how it went, so he just stripped it and done all that bit all over again.
Oh, very cool.
So that's customer service. Like he was like, yeah, I was up and it just didn't feel right, so I pulled it all off, and he shows you then that he puts the new one on, which is like this angled, thin, little black carbon in the middle. And he's like, oh yeah, that's definitely. I mean, it looked nice before, but it's like, oh, that's so much better.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's super nice, and that's part of it. You know, when I see guys putting together these kind of things, and you're looking at them, and it's like it's not just a stick or a fork anymore. It's become a piece of art, you know, and that's the sweetness of it, you know.
Yeah, and that's what I love with Rick's frames. Like you can see, there's heart and soul put into that. It's not just some guy going, "Oh, I'm going to make a buck here because I can sell some wood frames." It's someone who's actually got a passion for it and. Really, and I'm not putting down any other makers. I'm still new to this. I'm not saying anyone else doesn't do that when I make that statement. I can only speak to who I've experienced with, which at the moment is Lee and Rick. And I can see like the passion in there that they've really put it together. like I used to be a carpenter when I first left school. I said it in the live yesterday, and you can see like the workmanship that he puts into it and that he cares for it.
Oh, look, we got a funny guy.
Was it funny or fuck off funny?
Yeah, probably the latter.
Right.
Nice try, Kevin Taylor. But I appreciate the
All right. Yeah, I see it now.
I appreciate the comedy, but you're gonna have to toss that one at somebody a little dumber than me, okay?
Yeah, we've all seen The Simpsons.
Yeah. yeah. I'm not falling for that one. Yeah, we're back with the Spitfire now. And I'm still shooting that pouch on there that I just hate. And these bands just don't freaking die, so I can't change it until it does. But yeah, I really don't like these pouches. They mess with my release.
Yeah, I did get that. That was one of the things because I asked you ages ago about pouches. I don't know if you remember, like, but I'd said, "Oh, do the pouches really make a difference?" And you said the pit pouches. So like, on my Freddy Krueger one, I did get those pit pouches, like you said.
Yep, that's
So I haven't
the thing.
tried yet, but
All pit pouches aren't created equal. This one could be considered a pit pouch. It does have the 3 holes in it. But you
right.
see how open yours up again for a second? Okay, you see how yours is recessed? So when
Yeah,
you put a ball in there, the actual width of your ball is pretty much the same thing as your pouch.
yeah,
And it stays flat and smooth, so you have nothing that's grabbing onto your fingers. In this case, this pouch is not. So you lose part of the benefit I find in a pitch pouch with these kind of pouches. And the second thing is when you've got your hand on there and you're holding on to it, getting ready to shoot, when you let go, you see I got a little ring
yep,
where I'm not even holding the pouch hard. I'm just holding it enough to hold on to. But when you look at it, it leaves that little bump and your finger goes inside and it doesn't come out of your hand like a smooth flat one like yours does. Or
right.
one of these. Like I would rather shoot a microfiber pouch like this one any day before I shoot this. Actually,
Right.
after I'm done shooting this, I'm going to throw it away. Because if it had just a hole in the back and this part was all filled up and smooth, I would absolutely love this pouch. But I can't stand it actually. So once these bands die, I'll be throwing this pouch away.
Yeah. So I wondered about these, like the pouch. I'm sure everyone knows it anyway on here, but like as you're saying, like that where it's indented. So when you release, in my mind, there's a risk of it sort of rolling up that because it's kind of like a ridge or there's like a lip there for it to come up. Would that be true? Like I'm just talking like from mind's eye. It looks like you've got like this divot. It could do this.
For me, I actually prefer pit locating pouches like that for larger ammo because when I put my ball in, my ball is a 9.5 millimeter and I'm holding on to something that's 9.5 millimeter, maybe slightly more. It helps with my release.
Right.
When I go with like I said with something like this, yeah, the grip on it's really really nice, but it's actually too much. I mean, I get a dent in my finger, a little circle from where I don't know if you could see that or not, but I get a little circle in my finger from where my finger kind of gets in there, and then it does like a funny release thing, which I don't like. With these guys, the ones that you're shooting, you'll have that dialed back, getting ready to shoot, and you'll get a nice smooth clean release off of those because there's nothing really to grab onto. The ball will fill the hole. The ball will fill the hole so it's smooth. It doesn't feel like a dimple like this one has.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
The grip on it's astounding, but it does slip. Hey, you be quiet. You be quiet.
Yeah, and that's why I'm sort of holding back a little bit with trying out. I do want to pick it up and I do want to shoot it. Like in case anyone's thinking you're insane, you've got that Freddy Krueger frame and you haven't shot it yet. But it's like I want to do a video of it not just for, it's content on my channel, but again, to me, it's like that. I'm sharing this with everyone. So I want to do a good video where I can show people and talk about it. That's what holds me back. Like Rick's frames, it was killing me because I did it for like 4 days before I opened it. But it's like, no, this is something I want to share. The one thing I love about this, and I think I said it yesterday, was like that community. You feel accepted. It's a great community. So to me, I wanted to share it with everyone. It's like opening your gifts on Christmas morning. Like it's like sharing it, but look what I got, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. What's I gonna? Yeah. Sorry about that. I had to let the dog.
That's all right.
Barking his full head off. I'm a Roo pouch guy. You know what? I like the Roo pouches too. They're pretty damn nice. But I think I'm slowly but surely transitioning into an Omega Slings microfiber pouch guy. It's kind of crazy, but I see myself going there. I just get a better release. Feels good. They got good grip, and they leave my hands smooth, which is pretty nice. Way better than these ones actually. I'm gonna take a couple more shots with this one and then ditch it. I might even just cut this pouch off and throw away the set, make a new one.
Do you have to use tabs? Could you just cut it in half and use it as tabs to try out?
Yeah, I could do that. I might do that. It's a little bit on the small side, but I might be able to get away with it.
I think I'm getting to that stage now where I'm just missing everything.
Well, it happens to all of us. It's no. I mean, we've been chatting for almost 3 hours now. So, I mean, it's a lot of shooting, even though we've been shooting and chatting. But it's a lot of shooting. Leon,
there we go. I might.
Half other those look interesting. You showed. Not sure why I'm not sure how many I have. I can send. Oh, or I'm butting into a conversation. I should mind my own business. Yeah. All right. Let's get some pickle shooting done. Gotta get this little guy out here today. I was shooting the Picklebilly yesterday. If I'm able to put together that video, I think I'll still do it. But I was shooting the Picklebilly yesterday with clays, and it did not go well. When I switched back to the steel, it did go well. So I don't know. I think I'm about ready to give up on clays. Yeah.
See, I've got so much clay now. I think I've probably got about 10,000 rounds.
Woo.
And the reason, and there's a reason. So I'll reveal, because I know I said it in my intro video, and I think I've said it a couple times. Oh, why do I have so much clay? So I'm forever stumbling across weird things. And there's a thing, I don't know if anyone's heard of it or seen it. It's called, I might mispronounce it, Dorodongo or Dorodango. And what that is, it's a Japanese meditation thing. And what they do, they get dirt. It basically means dirt dumpling, I believe. And there's videos on YouTube of it. But basically, you just make this little clay ball, and then you just keep adding dry clay to it and rubbing it and polishing it, and you end up with this perfectly polished sphere. So the reason I bought loads of clay is I'm going to catch it in the Catchbox, and then when I've got enough, start making one of these Dorodangos. So that's the reason I've got so much clay.
Do you make your own? You don't make your own. You're buying them, right?
I'm buying them, but actually, funnily enough, So I did get one of these. I haven't opened it yet, but this is a thing for actually making the clay balls.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if people actually know. So what I'll do, I'll turn the phone around in a second. But I'm also into rock tumbling. I don't know if anyone actually knows when I was showing stuff around, but I have several rock tumbling machines. Now, when you finish rock tumbling, you end up with a cement-looking, I don't know what you'd call it, but it dries out to a powder. And so I've been wondering, could I use that and then just make these little clay ammos myself? But I got this. So what you do, you put the clay inside, and you just close it and you roll it back and forth, and it will make different size clay ammo.
Oh, wow.
It was, I think it was, I could look at it if you want to know exactly. Most stuff I buy, because I like just trying stuff out cheap, it was either AliExpress or Temu, something like that. but it was only a few dollars. And he thought, well, I'll give it a go. But I'm going to use like this. I don't even know what you'd call it. It's almost like a cement. Like it dries like cement, but when you do rock tumbling, you take the rocks out and wash them, and you're left with like this cement sticky stuff. And it's like, oh, I could actually make clay ammo out of that, and that's why I got that.
Oh wow!
But yeah, this Dorodongo, like, I'll find a video of it. Maybe I'll mention it somewhere else. But yeah, you just basically make a wet clay board. Imagine scooping up loads of clay and squeezing it like that, and then you just keep adding dry clay to it, rubbing it, polishing it, and you get like this thing like this, and it's just shiny and smooth.
Oh wow!
So that's why I went with all the clay. Eventually, I'm going to have enough to just do that. So like I'm kind of reusing it. I'm using it as ammo, and then I get to do that as well later down the line.
Mark, I'm making a Rooster PFS. I'm going to call it the PPPFS. Totally cool. Totally cool. Are you going to be making a bunch of those, Ethan? I may need to add one of those to my collection, buddy. Oh, and by the way, actually, before we go any further, Ethan Martin, Chuck and Steele, Hunter James, taking shots. I want to thank the three of you personally, in alive, for those videos that you guys done and the tips that you guys have given me for shooting pickle fork. It made all the difference in the world. It made things much, much easier, far less scary, and it's something that I'm having a whole bunch of fun for. So you guys put out a couple of videos. Ethan, you gave me some tips and tricks. Hunter did a great video on shooting pickle fork also. So big thanks to you guys, man. You're putting out great information, and I mean, guys, I'm literally like 4 weeks in shooting pickle fork, and not very often too. And I'm going to be releasing a video this Tuesday, a 10-shot Tuesday video with me shooting a pickle fork and aiming at that 25 millimeter flipper back there. And I got pretty damn good results, in my opinion, for a guy who's only been at it for 4 weeks and maybe shooting 10 to 12 times. So that's that. Thank you very much for that information, guys.
Yeah, those are some. Like, I've got the taking shots one. I've got that bookmarked where it's like standing right up close to his Catchbox, and
yeah. Let me round them up and I'll hit you up. Are you on Facebook? What are we going here? I'd make you want to be an honor. Oh, dude, it would be freaking awesome. First of all, I want to own an Ethan Slingshot. Second of all, pickle forks are a blast, and you guys are freaking awesome for what you've done, letting people know the secrets, letting the secrets out. Oh, brother, I'm just glad to help. I didn't really think anybody would watch it, dude. It's one of the best videos out there for shooting pickle. I gotta go. Have a blessed day, Leon. You're the man. Hope to see you soon, buddy.
Leon.
We'll chat pretty soon, buddy. Hunter is a frameless king. The guy's a stud, man. He can shoot like crazy. It's 2 a.m. here. I'm going to try to get some sleep. Good to hang. Hey, Adam, take it easy, buddy, and I'll see you next weekend, buddy.
Yeah, have a good one, Adam. See you later.
Yep. Every now and then, I'm still shooting a little bit high, shooting with the pickle fork, but my left and right seem to be decent. Oh, that was so close. My left and right seem to be decent, and we're dialing them in pretty good. So, I don't know. Pickle fork's a whole lot of fun. I seem to do much better up here for some reason than actually picking my shots down on the floor. I was shooting at that 40 mil flipper down in the Catchbox over there, pretty decent, not bad at all. But I seem to do better up here. I think it's more of the angle I'm used to. But so close. But I'm still kind of dialing in the form. Once I got the form dialed in, then I can start going around to try to pick my targets, which will be a little bit more difficult, but it's step by step. Do you? You don't have a CFF? Oh,
I've got the Pickle Billy.
oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you just received that one, right? But you
Yeah,
haven't done any
literally,
shooting
yes.
with it yet?
No, I haven't got any bands for it yet because, as I say, like, I think just as we started, like, I want to do that offset band thing. So I need to make a set of bands like that before I do like the pickle fork because I want to try and do it like a long draw.
The one thing I highly recommend starting out is you can get into the offset band things. I think that's probably a little bit more of an advanced style of shooting for
Right,
those. I would definitely try to go. So in my case, I give it a quarter twist. I bring it down like back here, and I do speed bump my pouch. I know that goes
right.
against all the other rules for other things, but I do speed bump the pouch. So when I let it go, it does come over the forks instead of close to the
Yeah,
fork. And I don't really speed bump much just to show you what I'm doing. But I found this for me was the easiest way to get started. Was when I'm pulling back, see how my pouch is kind of open. My
yep,
speed bump that I do is I just curl my thumb over just to close the pouch slightly, and that's
right.
all. That's all I really need. I started off though, giving it a good tweak, and then slowly but surely, just kind of dialing it back until my
Right.
shots really started to straighten out. But that's what I've been doing, and it seems to be working. It's just putting in the time to get really proficient with it. But
Yeah. And that
yeah,
would be me. I'm the type that I'd be doing like really bending it around. So
yeah. Start
that's a
started
good tip
off
to have.
started off with a heavy tweak and then slowly but surely start dialing it back. But just make sure you're thinking through all your shots to make sure
Yeah.
you don't forget about it or whatever, because you'll put a good ding in your fork, and right away when you hit that, you usually scrap a band set right away anyway. And
Yeah.
anyway, yeah,
Yeah. And I think, like I said, like, I'm going to look at Ethan's video because, as I mentioned, like the Cuttra thing for the like horsebow archery, the flicking it away, to me, that would feel natural to do that. So I don't know,
yeah,
Ethan says that in his video. So I'm going to go over that a couple of times before I actually start shooting it and make sure I kind of get that muscle memory to do it.
yeah. I didn't go with the flick right away only because I didn't want to add another variable into my aiming. The
Yeah.
bad side of that is I do get some hand slap. So it's when I do tend to naturally just release and just kind of give it a little drop, I get no hand slap at all. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's something that you'll have to
Yeah. Figure it out.
experiment with and figure it out. But if you're used to already flicking with a bow, then that should translate over
Yeah.
and help
That's
you
what
out.
I'm hoping. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to call it time because it's like I'm sweating like a pig down here. It's so hot down here,
No worries,
and
buddy.
I'm just missing everything. But thank you so much for the invite. Like it was, as I said, it was such a shock to see it. It was like, oh my God, am I dreaming? Like it just felt surreal. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate everyone in the community. Like they're just so amazing. Everyone I've met, everyone I've spoke to, and everyone I'm yet to meet and speak to. Like it's just such a great place to be. But thank you for everything you've done for the community because I think
No,
you're bringing people in. There's many people out there as well, but I think you're definitely respected and known as like one of the key people in the community.
no,
So
that's
thank you
awesome,
for
man.
everything you've done.
Thanks for the kind words, buddy, and welcome to the community, man.
Thank you, and I'll see you all on the next one. So
Yep.
have a good one, everyone. I'll see you later.
Take
Bye.
it easy, Paul. Great video, guys. Loved it. Such a great way to start a Sunday morning. Thanks, Mo. I hope you're doing good, buddy. I miss you, man. So it's totally up to you guys. We can keep on going. I really don't mind, or we can call it quits. I'll let you guys. I'll let you guys figure it out. I'm just. I'm gonna be out here shooting for a little while anyway. That's gonna be that. So you guys make the call. How about that? If anybody else is going live, I'll dip out of here. If not, we can just keep it going. Doesn't bother me at all. I'm thinking about doing a pickle video coming up pretty soon, and just talking about how I'm going to approach it, or how I'm approaching it, and what I'm doing to get to where I need to get. But I think I might do it. you guys would be interested in watching that. Keep it going? All right, buddy. Chad, I'm going to keep it going. Definitely going to keep it going. So next week I'm going to have Adam from Slingshots Down Under on the Sunday morning chat. That should be some fun. That should be definitely some fun. And I guess after next weekend, I'll be looking for another guest. I don't know who we're going to go with, but we'll see. I know I've mentioned this a couple times before, but I'm hoping I can get Simon from Wasp on the channel. That would be pretty cool. What pickle am I shooting? I am shooting the Sniper Sling S-Scope is what I'm shooting. And we'll see how it goes. Just to be honest about all that thing, I mean, I am no pro by any stretch, but I think it would be cool to just to show how I'm approaching my pickle practice. And I will be mentioning those who've put out good quality videos that helped me get to where I'm at today, which is not really that far, but there we go. Not really that far, but we are getting some decent hits in there, and I am challenging myself for that smaller target. I mean, if I was shooting something larger, okay, I would be doing a lot more missing if I was shooting at a lot more hitting if I was shooting at like a 60 millimeter flipper or something. But if I really want to dial in what I'm doing and really get a thought and good muscle memory going, I like to challenge myself with smaller targets, even if I miss a shit ton. I don't really care. But it's really getting me to focus in and dial in, which is what I want. Sometimes shooting larger targets, I get a little bit lazy and I start hitting all over the place because I'm figuring, oh, I'm on it, I'm good, but I'm not really paying attention. So something would be awesome. Did you find that? No, I still haven't found that slingshot, man. And I've searched for it. I really have no idea where it went. Yep, this is that titanium one from Sniper Sling. That's what I'm shooting right now. Such a cool looking frame. I was shooting the shit out of that hillbilly yesterday too. I was going pretty wild on that thing. Had a great time shooting at it. But I was trying to shoot with clays, and I just can't seem to wrap my head around those things. I could have had the wrong pouch though. I might try a pit locating pouch. I might try a pit locating pouch with that, and we'll see how it goes. And maybe it'll be a little bit better for the clays. I don't know. Woo, 2 in a row. But I'm quite enjoying the pickle fork. It's a lot of fun. So far, my PB with a pickle fork is it's 3 in a row. I'm trying to get trying to get 4 in a row, but it's kind of tough. I can never seem to really get my my position back in the exact same spot. I mean, it is very new still. I get it, but there it is, nice hit. But we're dialing it in slowly but surely. What I've noticed, actually, maybe you pickle pros in the chat here will know anything about this, but I'd find when I shoot a short draw, I line my fork up like this and it's good. When my pickle fork lines up and I'm shooting back here, I'm looking down the bands. The bands seem to be going like left to right instead of shooting down straight. So what I've discovered is that when I'm pulling out my bands, I pull them out so I'm looking down them so they're straight going towards the target. But naturally, my hand would be pointing this direction, and I got to rotate my body to get there. You'll see in some of my shots that I'm lining them up, and then I rotate, and then I shoot. And I believe that's probably me just kind of dialing in how everything feels. But it does. I don't know how to explain it. It's just what I'm seeing and what I'm learning as I'm shooting these things. It's just basically trying to get that focus and that alignment down towards the target. I find it's a little bit difficult, but when I do start getting it, I start getting hits in bunches, which is kind of cool. And the other thing I gotta kind of work on is just making sure I'm getting my arm up properly, like I'm making my T, stretch it up, and then I'm pretty much on target. Like if that was a 40, I would have hit it. There we go. So it's kind of, I don't know if anybody else has really noticed that the draw or the alignment of your shot with a pickle seems to be a little bit different. I don't know if that's making any sense. Yep, I do the same, and if I start missing to the right, I know I need to adjust. Yeah, you see, that's kind of the same thing I've been noticing. Is in my case, I end up shooting too much to the left because my bands don't go straight. Okay, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. When I shoot short draw, I don't even really look down my bands. I anchor, I look at my fork tip, and I shoot. That's it. My fork tip, where the bands connect, is usually right where I'm aiming from. So in pickle fork, I don't really aim off the fork tip anymore. I'm more aiming off the bands, and it takes me a while to get those bands lined up or my form straight. So I try to make it so when I'm looking down, I'm looking straight down the bands to make sure they're straight. And then after that, it's just a reminder to keep my hand up high enough. So I guess if I'm aiming, I'm holding it like up near where my ear is, I guess. I don't know. I got to figure something out on how to hold it properly to get a more reliable anchor. But as long as I'm up there high enough, I seem to shoot pretty good. I use my bands for pickle fork and long draw. Yeah, so that's part of the thing I'm trying to dial in at this point is just getting my bands up there high enough. See, now I'm straight. I got to rotate in, and I hook to the left. So in my case, I end up hooking to the left if I'm not if my bands aren't straight enough. My height was pretty good there though. But anyway, it's a work in progress, and we're slowly but surely getting there. But once we get everything dialed in, I'm feeling good about how the bands are lining up, and I'm just touching this little spot here with my anchor point. I seem to be putting things together. It's just kind of hard to repeat it every time. Yeah, it's just hard to repeat. But so far, my record in a row is 3 on 10. And my best score out of 10 shots has been 4. So I don't know, we're getting there. Gonna head out, fellas. Take care. Have a good one. Later, Robert. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Watch split, Kevin. Mark, if you're missing to the left, your bands may be a tad hot because you're tweaking. It might throw the ball left. Does that make sense? It might make sense, but it doesn't actually feel that hot. I'm actually shooting pretty slow with the 8mm steel. I can set up my Crony real quick if you want to see what kind of speeds I'm getting. Here, I'll do that. It's fun. We'll do it. set up here. Got to move this table over a little bit. Okay, get you guys over here. Let's see what I got. I don't got much. It's actually pretty slow. You might be a little bit surprised. I don't think these bands. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we need feet per second, right? I really don't have these set up pretty hot, so I'll show you the speeds I got going on here. 245.6 with 8 mil steel. I'm really not slinging anything heavy with these for sure. 238. I got one more on the chain. 242.2 with a hit. Boom. Yeah, they're definitely not too hot, Ethan. The first set that I made. The first set that I made was a little bit too hot, and I had a couple of slips while I was in my draw, so I decided to dial it back a little bit. I think with this set, I probably could shorten them up again just to get a little bit more speed, but for the most part, they're doing okay. They're doing okay for the most part. I think my PFS setup is around 260 with 9.5. Yeah, you're bringing a lot more heat, but you also do a full draw, right? I'm just right back here, so it's like it's kind of like an extended short draw, I guess. What I'm doing. Ooh, there's a hit. Yeah, I decided when I was just getting into this that I wasn't going to try to go with a really hot band set because I was a little bit concerned of the control and everything that would need to go along with it. There's a hit. But anyway, this band set seems to be me into a place where I can actually hit a little bit accurate, or I'm gaining some accuracy with it. We'll call it that. Whew, not with that shot, but I am gaining some accuracy with this as we're going. I seem to be improving a little bit each time out, which is, I guess, all we could really ask for. Anyway, we're getting there. I still got a lot to figure out, but that'll only come with a bunch of reps. So I'm trying to get out at least twice a week. At least twice a week, and pumping at least 100 shots through through a pickle, either this one or the hillbilly one, and seeing how it goes. And well, it's coming along. I like it too hot. I'm hooked on hookah status. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I used to be locked in on that too, trying to get the maximum speed with the most carnage as possible. But I've kind of gone away from that now. Now it's all for me. It's all about putting the shot exactly where I want it, which is challenging in its own right. But I do kind of like blowing shit up with a slingshot from time to time, like getting out with a good 11 mil steel, a really hot band set, and hitting metal cans, and they go flying back 6-8 feet. That's a lot of fun. there's a part of me that's thinking that maybe the shooting left is because when I release the ball, I'm not tweaking enough. Like I've relaxed the tweak just before release. That actually could be it. I just really tried to dial in that shot and have it go over my thumb, like really feel it go over my thumb, and it straightened my shot right out. Yeah, that was a hit. That could be it. I just got to concentrate maybe more on the release. We'll do that for the next few outings, and we'll see if that solves the problem or not. Yeah, still a little high. The only time I want speed is when I'm hunting, and that's why my 16 to 10 tapers. I can shoot all day and not get tired. Yeah, and I'll tell you this too. Shooting this pickle fork at this speed and this setup, I really feel I can do this thing all day long and not get tired. My pinch never ever gets tired. It's really nice. Hey Squatch, what did you miss? I missed a whole bunch. We talked a little bit. I missed a couple more times, had a couple hits, and then we're talking again. That's pretty much it. Not much. We're shooting pickle fork now. Yeah, it was great to have Paul on. Hearing the perspective of somebody that's pretty much new to the community, and you can clearly see he's got the bug for it. Excuse me. You can clearly see he's got the bug for it. So I thought it would be fun to have him on. Oh, that was close. And he would have fun with the chat. I'm looking forward to next week. I was talking with Adam yesterday. We're going to get Adam on the show. Have a little shooting chat if we can. It'll be cool having someone from the other side completely the other side of the world to chat with. That'll be fun. I got to try getting a few other people on the show, regardless if we're just shooting and chatting or just shooting. That's all. Doesn't really matter. Or just chatting. Doesn't bother me at all, really. Either way is good. I like the hangout. I like the chat with the guys in the chat, the banter that goes on back and forth. Makes it fun. Yeah, he's in the rabbit hole. I think he's kind of screwed now. It's a fast way to get broke. Yeah, there's so many of these co-lives. Definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, man, I have so much fun doing this, and just being able to get out here and shoot and chat and whatnot is a blast. I wish I can get down there and do some lives from down there as well, but I need a canopy. It's just way too hot back here. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I also want to get Zach on one of these lives. I think it'll be pretty fun. We got Rob Cross. I'm going to try to get Rob on here too sometime this week, during the week, in the afternoon after work. Get out here and do a little shooting. Both of us got our mega billies, so it would be pretty neat for us to get together and do that shoot in a co-live. Have a little hillbilly party. And we'll do that probably hopefully this week. This week, if the weather holds and it gets nice, it's not stupid hot. Because I know this last week we were in the 40 degrees the whole time. This week it's supposed to drop down to like 26 before the humidity. So it's still going to be pretty hot, but it'll be doable somewhat. I had that one and I flinched just before I let it go. It went a little high. but I was bang on with the lineup. Still shooting high. Zach is a cool dude. I've been trying to go with him for a hot minute. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough getting everything to line up, man. Because if I could, I'd be shooting with people every single day. If YouTube won't let me do co-lives, really has me pissed off. You know what, Squatch? I had the same problem a while back, and basically what I ended up doing was I went into my what do you call that, Google Play thing. I did not an uninstall because you can't really, but I did like a stop, and then I reopened it, but without the update, and it fixed me. And at some point they did a bug, and they updated a bug, and it corrected everything, so we were good. But that's just something you got to do, I guess. It might fix the problem anyway. Give it a try, Leon. And if you want to do a little test back and forth, you could always hit me up, and we'll see if we can get it working. Take it easy, Slingdango. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. I had the same issue too with these. We tried going live with these, and either he was blacked or I was blacked out, or it was choppy, or we couldn't get the signal, or there was something going on. It was just really annoying because I was looking forward to talking to Deez. He's a cool dude, and I was having problems with it. And anyway, it is what it is. It didn't work out, and I'm hoping to get Deez back on the show at some point. Just so we can do a little shoot and chat. For the members of the channel, I'm actually thinking about just doing like a one-on-one shoot, kind of like a live, but just one-on-one for members, just like a personal hangout with ATO type thing. I don't know if that would be cool. If you guys would be interested in that, any members in the chat? I know Leon's still here, but if there's any other members in the chat, I don't know if they'd be interested in just doing a one-on-one shoot from time to time. I'll just I'll pick up a few people as we're going on and see if they're down. Woo, there we go. Yeah, it's pretty much at this point a hit and miss kind of deal. But I don't really care. I'm coming so close to that 25 millimeter flipper almost all the time. We'll see. I am in that order I got coming from Omega Slings. I have that Aries core coming. Yes, sir. But I also got two of those 40 millimeter leather flippers coming. I know I got one already in that Catchbox, and I've got another one coming. I've got another one coming, a little pig one that I'm going to be putting into this Catchbox. So I'm going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to have the 12 millimeter up on top with the 25, and I think I'm going to put the 40 little piggy on the bottom. We'll see how it goes. Should be fun. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Pretty cool thing to add for the members. Just do like a one-on-one shoot from time to time. I think what I'll do is with the members, there'll be like a little giveaway style thing just to pick the person we're going to be doing it with, doing a live with, and go from there. But I know I've had some members on the channel that have been following for quite some time, and I really, really appreciate it. But I want to be able to give back a little bit more to the members and see if we can possibly do an extra live or just something to give back a little bit. It'll be fun. I know we're going to be doing the giveaway probably next week is the big day for that Venator. I have a I want to be able to do a video first just to promote it again one more time. The Venator before I do the little giveaway. But man, I love that freaking frame. Well, the skeleton is 90mm, apex is 95. You'll have either raise your anchor point or aim under the target. Yeah, I think the 95mm is a laser for me. I've been inconsistent with the 90mm for months. Yeah, you might need a wider frame. If you find that with a 90 you're shooting high, you're gonna have to switch to a 90mm. It'll be your tip on for you probably by that point. Yeah, I saw that, Leon. Your Timber 26 made that spinner with the Sasquatch on it. It's so freaking cool. How do we get in on that giveaway? Which one, Turtle? With the giveaway style that I was talking about was for members. I wanted to do like a one-on-one shoot. It's kind of like something that we're doing now. We're just chatting back and forth on a live, but it would only be me and that one other person in a shoot, and we can come out and shoot for as long as whatever, do like an hour block or whatever it is. Come out and shoot half hour, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever anybody has time for. But I would probably do it for members, saying, hey, members, I'm up for a live shoot. Who's up for the live shoot? Pick a number. Say I got 10 members. Pick a number from 1 to 10. The person who gets it goes live. And I'm thinking I'll probably end up doing that. Also, the giveaway that I was also talking about for the Venator, it's going to be for, I've got 2 Venators to give away. The first choice is going to go to members only. So that first one will be eliminated to whoever it is picks it up. The second one will be for everybody, including the members. So if you're a member, you'll get 2 cracks at a Venator. If you're not a member, you'll only get the 1 crack. It's part of the deal. But next week I'll be doing the first giveaway, and then the week after that will be the other one. It's going to be an expensive week at the post office next week. I've got a bunch of stuff to get out to people, and anyway, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll definitely see how that goes. And my anchor point's getting lazy. Got to make sure I get that thing higher, right up here. Yeah. I got to tell you, I've done a lot of shooting with this frame so far. Ooh, that was close. Just skimmed the top of it. I've done a lot of shooting with this frame so far, and you can tell by the gunk that's on these bands. Look at this. Look how dirty they are. I've probably got somewhere around 600 shots through this frame so far, and I think we've shot probably close to 100 already today. I've already had to reload once, maybe twice. I'm a Sunday Live hoarder. I know I feel kind of bad. We just keep on going, and people asked if everyone wanted me to split, and they said no. They said, okay, let's stay. Yesterday was an expensive post day. Luckily, the really expensive one was paid for. Oh, yeah. Trying to get my pastor to change Sunday service time. Well, I appreciate that, dude. Either that or just ask him if he doesn't mind to have an earpiece in there. Or put me up on the widescreen. Yes, sir. Oh. Yeah, I think down below that catch box, I've probably got 100 shots at least on the ground. Maybe more. Not all of them are bouncing out, but some of them are. It's just when I hit a little bit high in that catch box to how I have the rod set up, it causes an issue. I think what I might do is adjust it. Yes, sir. I think I might adjust it and just tie the curtain through the top and then just tie it up over the top. I'll pop a couple of holes on either side and tie it up as high as possible. And that way I won't have to worry too much about it. And as long as I don't have any shots that go a little bit wide, I should be okay. Show me how I got that pouch tied again, please. Here you go. Am I doing it wrong? Let me know if I'm doing it wrong. Clippabilly. Yeah, dude, that Clippabilly is fire, dude. When I saw that post, I'm like, Rick must be crazy. I guarantee you people will buy those. I think super nice. Get you one? Oh, I'll get myself one. I will. I just gotta get some cheddar together there, Rick. Once I get some cheddar together, we'll be talking. But those I was shooting the hell out of that Pickabilly yesterday. The everything about that thing is sweet, and having to be able to attach the bands with clips is on a whole other level. Yes, sir. And that's pretty much that's the only reason why I'm not shooting it out today. Sent out. What? Hold on. What did I miss here? Well, it works, so it's not wrong, but I do mine differently. I've thought about tying it that way. So how exactly are you tying yours, Ethan? Okay, you want to send out the test? Oh, awesome, dude. You know what? I'll test one out, and I'll do a review on both of those coming up pretty soon. I am planning on doing a video on how I'm approaching learning pickle fork, and when that one arrives, I'll just put those two guys together. We'll talk about the two things, how I'm going about it. Actually, I'll show all my pickle forks that I got, but I'll definitely put those two in with links, the links to the hillbilly shop and how to get a hold of them, and we'll see how it goes. I tie mine exactly the same way I do TTF. Okay, so you do a trifold instead of just a fold over. Oh, I could probably give that a try too and see. Maybe I'll do that on the next set. I'll do like a trifold TTF band set and flip one over and see how it goes. Oh, that was so close. So just so I'm clear, just so we're clear, Ethan, you do a trifold on your bands, and then you set them up like this, kind of. You do a trifold, and then you put one backwards and one frontwards, or one flipped over. Yeah, send me a picture. That'd be cool. I've seen a lot of people show them on the videos, but it's not really big enough to get a good view or high enough resolution when I'm watching it on my phone. I can't really blow it up and take a look. But yes, sir. There we go. Woo, 2 in a row. And you know what the funny thing is about pickle fork? It's kind of baffling, really. But these silly little things kind of bring back that feeling from the beginning. I don't know if you've noticed, like every time I'm hitting them, I'm like, yes, sir, woo, I'm going crazy. Every single hit is just brings super joy. It's like something new and it's tough, and I'm having a hard time with it a little bit. And I don't know, man, it just brings back that fun that's kind of been mellowed out a little bit. Not that I don't enjoy shooting at all. I mean, I freaking love it, but it's like that real excitement of actually getting a hit and accomplishing a hit. It's just like it's come back. It's fun. Take care, Dave. Yeah, it's true. It's like hitting that trick shot you've been trying for like 4 or 5 days, and you finally nail it. It's almost like every hit now for me. It's like this. It's like, yeah, yeah, got one. It's just crazy. It's so much fun. I really wasn't expecting to fall in love with pickle fork like this, but yep, it's a real blast. It's a real blast. Woo. And I mean, I do miss quite a bit, but it's still fun, man. Still lots of fun. Again for the first time. Yep. You know what, Ethan? One of these days, you and I are gonna have to do another live too. I had a blast on that live, even though I couldn't hit a damn thing. We still had a lot of fun. Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hey, what's up, Daryl? Hey, you'll appreciate this, buddy. So Friday night, I got the itch, and I was on my way back home from work, and I decided to whip up a natty, and I came up with this beauty. Look at this. Carved this guy out of a piece of beech. Shoots like a dream too. Really, really nice. Got a couple of imperfections, which is kind of what I like better. I had a little split in the wood there, but I filled it up with some super glue and some wood chips. And I had a little wormhole up here near the fork, which had me a little bit nervous, but it was only kind of surfacey. You couldn't see anywhere else, and I filled it all up really nice. And no problems, no problems yet. It's just right there at the edge. But yeah, man, came out really, really nice. Super nice. Yeah, we've pretty much gone through 5 different frames today. We're 3.5 hours in, and now we're at Pickle Fork, having a little bit of fun. Yeah, yeah. I know you like your natties. I was also shooting this one here today, a little bit. This one is pretty nice too. It's a very accurate shooter and very, very comfortable hold. Just a little bit on the chunky side. And the only one I haven't shot yet today is this guy. I'll probably wrap this video up with this guy a little bit later, get a couple of shots through it anyway. But the grain on this thing is about as pretty as it gets. Look at that. Look at that cup. Just nuts. Full of, totally spalted out. Yes, sir. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna have to get one of those foldable gazebos and get that thing up there. Get one of those down there so I can set that up and have a shooting range good to go and another area to sit down on the grass. It'll be pretty cool. Yeah, the spalting on that thing is crazy. I've got about probably another about 6 or 7 of some decent looking forks. I'm gonna have to go out and collect some more and get some more frames made up. But we'll see how it goes. And I think once I get a good batch of them, I'll try to sell off a few, maybe raffle off a few. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And that'll get me into my get me some of my machines that I need. Yes, get me some of those machines that I need for making some other modern style frames. Get good and set up. I think out of the materials that I've probably got enough to make 2 decent frames in each model. Yeah, there we go. So I think it'll be basically, I'll make one just to kind of, for myself, I guess, to kind of figure out how the materials work. There's 2 in a row. And once we get that one dialed in, if it's good enough, maybe I'll let it go. But I'm gonna want to keep a couple of them of my own frames. Ah, that was close. Yeah, we need some ATO natties around the community, and I don't know. It's kind of hard because I get kind of attached to them when I'm working on them and I'm making them. It's hard for me to let them go. I know I'm such a loser, but it's true. I make them. I'm like, oh man, this is nice. Look at this. It's like a son. You know, it's like I made a baby. Yeah, but I'm feeling comfortable. I'm probably gonna do the next one I do now is gonna be this guy here is gonna be the raffle. I don't know what I'm gonna do it, but if there's enough people who think it's nice enough, I'll do it. I know the last raffle I did 15 slots at $10 US each, and I pay the shipping for whoever wins it on the raffle. So I'll probably do the same thing with this one as well. Not a bad deal, I don't think. I understand keeping them too. Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's hard when you put that work. I find whenever I used to make back in the day when I used to make knives, I would get so attached to them sometimes. Like I was planning on making knives and selling them, but I became a yes, sir. One of those freaky cat ladies that just kept on hoarding everything. It's basically what happened. I couldn't let them go. So I figured doing this is not for me. But I think with the slingshots and the shit ton of them that I have, I can be able to do it. I've been listening from the start while making full butterfly bubble up slingshot bazookas. Because why not? Yeah, why not? Eh? Oh man. Whew. Man, I gotta get some water into me. Been out here sitting in the heat for a long time with nothing but a coffee in me. Gotta reload. Working on one now, Mark, that fits my hand perfectly. It ain't going nowhere, Lavalla. Yeah, so yeah, you understand, eh? Yeah, I know, man. It's crazy. And it's funny because I'll show you something on this one here. You see how the ass end of it's kind of sloped? Not really even. And while I was sanding away at it, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm trying to get it even. I'm looking at it and I hold it in my hand. I'm like, ooh, that feels good. I sand it down a little bit more, put it back on, like, ooh, that feels really good. you know what? It's staying just right there. That's it. I'm not doing anything. And sure enough, it's completely lopsided, but when I'm holding it in my hand, I've got my grip and I'm holding it in my hand, it just completely fills the cup of my hand. Super comfortable. No weird edges or pokey corners or anything like that. It just locks right in place. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful grip. Probably, honestly, one of the best holding slingshots I've ever held in my life. And it was really by no design. It was just messing around in the front yard with a couple of tools, and I found slowly kept on moving things away and just kept feeling better and better and better. Well, here we are with that thing now. That's definitely one of the plus sides of making things out of wood. Oh man, I can't believe I missed that. That was so close. Is you really get to really get a good feel for what you're building, what you're making. That was a terrible shot. Starting to get tired. Well, guys, we've been at it for 3 hours and 46 minutes. It's the longest one I've ever done. There's no need for it, I guess. I'm going to wrap this one up. Thanks for all you guys sticking it out all this time. You're coming out here shooting with us. Me and Paul had a great time. Had a great time chatting with Paul, too. It's great to seeing somebody with a fire in their belly over the sport. It's awesome. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thanks again, everyone. You're freaking awesome. You guys take care. Stay safe. Get out and practice. Be good to each other. I'll see you again soon. I love you guys. You're freaking awesome. Bye for now. Later, boys.